pass, rolling to his right. They throw it, the in route to Tanner Steck, makes the catch. Steck dives for the pylon. Touchdown!
Up by the Nuggets, and an attack. That'll go for a kill from Anasteer.
Lamar looks for a block, makes a man miss at the 5. End zone touchdown, swirls. Sets up middle. Jensen for the exclamation point kill.
30, the 20, the 15, the 10, and an 85-yard touchdown run for Landon Olsen.
Ulster Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Special guest joining us here today for our pregame show is Dana Syverson. We're going to talk about the I Believe Scholarship, and also, probably more importantly, is just in general, her husband Ryan Syverson, who is a longtime coach for Pelican Rapids, talking about him as a person as he passed away due to cancer here this summer. But Dana, first off, thanks for taking some time to chat with me here today. I know football season is upon us. It's definitely a fun time for everybody that's out and getting about and getting a chance to see the games. But there's more to it than that, and I think you've felt that with your family, being a wife of a coach for so many years. Let's first talk about Ryan himself, a diagnosis that nobody wants to hear about any time in their life, but nearly 4 years ago this came about. Found out a type of cancer that Ryan battled, and just also talk about his faith journey a little bit too during the past few years here.
Well, thanks for having me. Ryan was diagnosed with glioblastoma, which is a terminal brain cancer, in February of 2020. During that time, he had surgery at the end of February. He came home the day before his birthday. He has a leap year birthday. So February 29th is his birthday. He came home on February 28th, and the next day he was at the basketball game cheering on Abby. He's very determined. He was very determined to not miss anything that his kids were in, and he never gave up. He was so positive. And throughout that diagnosis, when you're diagnosed with a terminal brain cancer and you're given 12 to 18, and if you're lucky, 24 months, that can be really, really hard to, swallow, hard to comprehend. And Ryan was determined that that was never going to stop him. He said, he would always say to me, "I'm going to live till I'm 100. I am going to live until I'm 100. What are you worried about?" And I'd be so worried about him with the treatments and everything that he had. And, "Well, don't worry about me. I can do this. I can do this. I'm going to live to be 100. He battled for 3.5 years. He beat the odds. He was actually considered a long-term survivor at 3.5 years. Unfortunately, he lost his battle on August 18th. But he lived his life fully. He cherished every single day, didn't miss anything. His faith was so strong, as was evidenced by going to the basketball game right after he got out of the hospital. He was not going to miss. He would say, our son Brody was born with a diaphragmatic hernia, and Brody's a miracle. And he would say, if Brody could be a miracle, why couldn't I? Why can't I do this? I can be a miracle. He really kind of was a miracle. 3.5 years. He had a surgery in May, this past May, his second craniotomy. And that was an 11-hour surgery. A month later, the tumor came back. And unfortunately, Mayo said that there was no more they could do. And he ended up on hospice this summer. But the life he lived leading up to that was such a strong life, full of faith, inspiration for others. Never gave up, just would not give up. And I think As I think about his faith, he would say, what is faith without faith? What is faith without faith? And he really lived that day to day. And he wanted people to know that. He wanted people to know that his faith was strong and to never give up. And he would say, if I can be an inspiration for others fighting cancer, if what I am doing can help others believe that they can fight the cancer that they are fighting, then it's worth it, what I'm going through.
Absolutely. And yeah, I'm sure you could see that in just everyday life of, you know, how he fought and how he didn't let it hold him down too. And I think for anybody that, you know, is familiar with the Syverson name, it's very well known in this area. If you're into sports or activities, you've probably heard the name before, especially in the Mahnomen-Waban area down here in Pelican Rapids as well too. But from coaching to teaching, playing over the years, Ryan was all three of those at some point in his life, from being in sports to coaching and teaching right till the end. Sacrifices are always made when you're the wife of a coach, especially too. But from stories that I've heard from so many, Ryan was an excellent motivator, mentor, and friend to his players and fellow coaches. Tell me a little bit about your experience being a coach's wife and what he was like as a coach. From even, I'm sure you've heard many stories, and I know you've shared some of these with me off the air before we started up here, from former players, from former coaches. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, honestly, I've only known Ryan as a coach, like his whole life. When I met him, he was coaching. I've known him only, you know, in that role as a coach, as my husband. He was very passionate, very dedicated. He loved to win. He loved a victory. He loved to win. He had fun. He was a big kid out there. He would play basketball with the players. I mean, he was out on the field before the football games, kicking the field goals, having fun with the coaches. He loved to play with those kids just as much as he loved coaching. And every time there would be a loss, it was always interesting. He would come home, analyze the game, and I'd hear him so much talk about what he'd learned from those losses. What could he teach the kids? And he would take responsibility so often on himself as a coach. He would say, you know, if I had done this better, very cool to watch, you know, that he would not put blame on so many of the outside things that could happen, or other things that could happen in the game, but he would often take that ownership as, if I had put this kid in this position, or if I had done this play differently or better, you know, maybe we could have won that game. So it was really cool that way. As a fan, he was in the stands coaching. He never stopped coaching. We'd be sitting at a basketball game and he'd be talking football and coming up with plays for the next year. We'd be at a baseball game. He might be talking about basketball or football, or he's coaching baseball. You know, he's coaching every kid from the stands too, trying to help them out. If he wasn't on the sideline, he was finding a way to still help and coach. You know, he would do the book for basketball games. He was doing that the last couple of years through treatments. He'd go to treatment. Well, I'm going that night. I'm doing the book. Are you sure you're going to be okay? Of course I am, he'd say. You know, or he'd do a treatment and he'd go officiate a game the next day. You know, a junior high game, or he was so busy. And as a coach, he wanted every player to know that they can do it. Don't let anybody tell you can't, is what he'd say. To the kids, he'd say, we're Pelican, not Pelicant. You know, Pelican, not Pelicant. You know, he said, don't ever let anyone tell you can't. He believed in everybody. And as I looked at the things, you know, that some of the things that were written by former players at his funeral on these cards that we had, or on a message board, you know, one of the things that stood out is a player would say, we believe in you just as much as you believed in us. You know, fight through this just as you strive for us to do the same in practice and in games. He was so motivational to the kids, and he cared for every player so much. And that's what I saw him as a coach. He also never forgot a kid's name or a play. He can tell you who so-and-so was in this game 15 years ago and what they did in that game. He remembered every kid, and he remembered their strengths. He remembered all his players. It was amazing. It was amazing.
It's crazy.
He was a great coach.
Next topic that I wanted to go through too, it's my hope that people understand on a better level and can see that there's more to life than just a game of football. Pelican Rapids versus Hawley, homecoming week, or football-wise, any other team throughout the year. It's entertainment for all of us to enjoy and watch as kids succeed. But beyond the game, there's so many coaches, Ryan being right in that league, seeing past the wins and losses and using the game of football as a chance to teach life lessons. What are some of the things that you've heard over the years, and you've mentioned some of them here already too, from former players, from coaches and so on, even community members, just about how he impacted their life through sports? And yeah, you've got a whole stack of cards and different things here of so many that you can tell he made a major impact.
Yeah, it's actually been pretty amazing reading all the tributes to him. You really don't know how much you've touched somebody until something like this happens. And for me, as Ryan's wife, I knew that the kids loved him as a coach. They loved him as a teacher. But I'm really starting to see now, even more in depth and detail, how much he really meant to everybody. And some of the things that, former athletes, even former students, have said about him it's just amazing. The things, I have some quotes, that he would say to kids: be a better you, be the best you can be. He would say things that some of the players would write is how calm he was when he'd explain adjustments to them, to teach the lessons. One thing that, was said at his celebration of life is a quote from a former player: "What I remember from the old days was a steady, stabilizing presence on our team, how he'd notice discouragement and then quietly encourage, how he'd recognize when you were doing something incorrectly and wait to calmly pull you aside and teach you the right way." And that was Ryan. So calm most of the time. He's still a coach. There were those times that you knew when he was not happy with something. I had said earlier the headset would come off, or maybe he'd stomp, or maybe a clipboard would come down a little hard sometimes. But he would always say, your best has to get better. Did your best get better? What did you do to get better? And not only that as a coach, but as a teacher in the classroom. He was a third grade teacher. And what he meant to these kids in this school, it was so much. These kids loved him. They wanted to be in Mr. Syverson's room. They loved Mr. Syverson. The prizes he had for kids, the tickets that, the auctions he would have, the fun he would have in class with these kids. And, he would learn Spanish so he could speak with kids that maybe didn't have the English. And one of the things that I had read on a card that really stood out to me was a former student had said how Ryan made him feel so special on his first day in America, and how exciting school was for him. Not his first day just in school, but his first day in America. That's really something.
Yeah.
I don't even have the words for that. That tells you how much he cared for these kids, not only in his, on the field, on the court, but in his classroom. Yeah. He made every day special, and he wanted to make sure every kid knew that what they were doing was amazing and special. And how can you get better?
Yeah.
That was Ryan.
I love it.
Yeah.
Outside of sports too, from what I understand, and I've read from others too, and reading more of it today too, that knew Ryan well, is that he was a true family man. He refused to let cancer keep him down. He was not going to miss any events your kids were in. Not only is it important to be present in your family's life, but I'm guessing this was a big driving force that really kept all of you going, especially mentally, I mean, during these last few years, wasn't it?
You know, he was the glue. He was the glue to our family. And I'm sorry, but he kept us going. And there were so many times that I would say, oh, goodness, Ryan, you just had treatment. And he had a lot of treatments, a lot of chemo. And I'd say, I think you should stay home. I think you should rest. Oh, no, we're going to this game. Oh, no, I'm going to school. He didn't miss school. He didn't miss. The guy did not miss. He'd teach, go to chemo in the afternoon, teach the next day. He would not miss. And if his kids, Abby and Brody, had an event, we were there. We went to everything, you know, and Abby runs track for Bemidji State, and indoor and outdoor seasons a lot. Every weekend she's got meets. Every weekend we went. If there was a way we were going to get there, we went. We would go to Brody's basketball game, leave a basketball game at 9:30, 10 at night, and drive a couple hours, stay in a hotel so we could get to Abby's meet the next day. And he was doing this all through his treatments. He was doing this. He wasn't going to let it stop him. No way was he going to miss anything. And he didn't always feel the best, but he wasn't going to miss. You know, and he would say things to Abby and Brody, you know. I was listening to some videos I had of him that he recorded over the summer with the kids, and he'd say, do the best at what God has given you. That's what he'd tell the kids. Do the best. You have these gifts. Use them. You know, and one thing that I was listening to the other night that really stood out to me, he said, you know, put your pride aside and help people when they need help. This was his advice to my kids. Put your pride aside and help people when they need help, because that's what you've been taught to do. Do it when it is easy and do it when it is hard. And that was Ryan. He always found a way to help people, and he loved being a dad. He loved adventures. He loved taking us places. He loved stopping along the road every time there was a roadside plaque. He loved to learn. He was a great teacher. He loved history. He loved ships. He loved lighthouses. Loved lighthouses and ships and history. And every trip we took, he wanted to drive. Like, can we fly? We're going to go to California. Can we fly? Why would we fly when we can drive and we can stop and see all these things? And it was the best. The memories that we made because we'd stop and read something, and it was great. He was a lifelong learner, but he was such a good husband, such a good dad. He did so much for us, and he was our glue. He was our light, our shining light.
Yeah.
And it's really hard this fall to do these things without him. He would want us to keep going. You know, after he passed away he passed away Friday morning, August 18th. Abby started college that following Monday, and she went to class those first 2 days. You know, how many kids can go to class after their dad passes away? And he would have wanted her to. She needed to start the year. She needed to get that first couple days of class. And Ryan would have said, you need to go. Don't stay here for me. He encouraged us to keep on going. Don't let anything ever stop us from doing what needed to be done. And that's how he lived his life with cancer. Guy didn't miss anything.
Just keep on going.
Keep on going. Shine your light. Thought he was going to live to be 100. But you know, his physical body might not be here till he's 100, but I can guarantee his legacy and his lessons, he'll go on till he's 100.
Oh, yeah.
He'll never be forgotten. Beyond that.
Yeah.
Beyond that, he was our glue. He was our shining light, and we miss him so much. He loved life, and he lived it to the fullest every single day. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep on. That's what he would want.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, keeping on with that, since Ryan's passing, you have set up what's called the I Believe Scholarship in his memory at Pelican Rapids. Tell me about this, the meaning of it, and also how people can get involved to help out with a great opportunity like this that will help several kids and show Ryan continuing to impact lives with this legacy.
You know, I'm very excited about this scholarship. In fact, this is something I had been thinking of for several months, maybe even the last year. And I had talked to Ryan about it, and I said, you know, would you be okay when that time comes if we set up a scholarship? Absolutely. And I'd been trying to think all summer as his health was declining of, what could we call this scholarship? What would we want to call this? And last winter, the school did an I Believe scholarship, because that's what Ryan always said. I believe I can do this. I believe I can beat this cancer. He believed in every kid. He believed that if he worked hard, good things will come. And it came to me one day this summer that that's it. Let's call this scholarship the I Believe Scholarship, because that's who Ryan was as a teacher and a coach. And it was so perfect. I believe. And so I knew I had mentioned that to him, that I believe. He gave me the thumbs up. He loved that. And so the day he passed, and I was visiting with people, that's when I said to others, I want to start a scholarship. That was on the day he passed. I want to start a scholarship. I want it to be the I Believe Scholarship. You know, and I had mentioned to a couple other people, I had ahead of time to get their thoughts on it. And so it all developed. That's where we're at with the I Believe Scholarship. And the school took the lighthouse theme, Ryan's love for lighthouses. Little known fact that he really did love these lighthouses. Last year we went on a trip to Michigan. Michigan has the most lighthouses in the United States, if you didn't know that. Oh. And the coast of Michigan is incredible. And so we saw probably 20 lighthouses, got to explore all these lighthouses. And so they're taking that theme this year of the lighthouses at the high school, and it's their theme is be the light. Be the light. Be that shining light for others. Do the work. Be amazing. Shine your light. How can you help others? So that whole scholarship has that whole lighthouse theme, the I believe, you know, be the lighthouse, be that guiding light for others through the darkness. Shine your light, do the good. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to shine our light. We're going to keep Ryan's light shining as long as we can with this scholarship. And there's one more project that we're going to do besides the scholarship, a couple things that I want to do. I also have a project where we're going to put a bench on the playground, and it's going to be the buddy bench. We do not have a buddy bench on our elementary playground, and Ryan was a big kid, and he loved to play at recess with the kids. 2 days before his surgery, he was still throwing that football out there. He's playing kickball with the kids. I mean, he'd love to throw the football. The kids love that at recess. So I thought, you know, he made sure every kid had somebody to play with out there. If he saw somebody, you know, come on, join our game. So this buddy bench that's going to go on the playground will be a spot for if a kid doesn't have somebody to play with, they can go sit on this buddy bench and another kid can recognize that they need somebody to play with. So I wanted to also not only do the scholarship, I also want to do the buddy bench. So that's a really cool thing that is another project that's going to go along with this. So we're in the works doing that. And then another project that is a personal project that is not tied to the scholarship or the buddy bench is personally from our family, we are going to also put a bench up at the football field. Okay. Up on the hillside. You know, we have a pretty amazing complex there and we have the bleachers, but there's no benches on the side. And we've spent so much of our life, he spent so much of his life at that football field coaching football, but not only coaching football, watching our daughter and our son run track.
Sure.
You know, Abby had a great track career here in Pelican, and he was always there at that finish line, always, you know, running around the track, chasing her. And my kids were born into the football program.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was very fitting that we put a bench up on the hillside. So it's going to go on the hillside where the finish line of the track is. So Ryan can always be there watching every game and every track meet, coaching from the sideline. So that's a personal project that's going to come from our family. So there's a few things in the works that, you know, I'm really excited about. And hopefully by spring we have some of those things. And then the I Believe Scholarship. And if people are interested in donating to the I Believe Scholarship, checks can be sent to the high school, written out to ISD 548. And then in the memo, the Ryan Syverson Scholarship Fund, or the I Believe Scholarship Fund. And, you know, we did a Lighthouse t-shirt fundraiser. So that was pretty cool. Raised quite a bit with that. And I'm really excited. You know, we haven't quite got the details of how the scholarship's going to work quite yet. It's still pretty early in the process, but I do know our daughter Abby had a really great idea for it. You know, she wants it to go to somebody that maybe needs that little boost.
Sure.
The person that needs somebody to believe in them, that they can do it. And I think that's really cool. So we've got some ideas of how we're going to set it up, and, you know, the I don't know if you want to say the qualifications for it, or, you know, what we're going to do for it. There's some cool ideas. You know, I'm a kindergarten teacher too, and I've got all these ideas in my head of how we can make things great and grand, and how we can keep Ryan's light shining.
Absolutely.
And I think there's some cool things coming in the future, and hopefully even more, and hopefully more fundraisers. I don't know what that'll be, but maybe each year there's some things that we can do. I know a couple weeks ago we did a football game tribute and to him, and the kicking cancer, you know, type things in the fall too. So maybe there's some things in the future we can do with that. Tackle cancer, kick cancer. Maybe there's, I don't know. We'll come up with some more ideas.
Sounds good.
We want to keep Ryan's light shining and keep giving to others, because that's what he would want us to do.
Absolutely. And you can tell that you're doing that too with the community, with the teams, with the players, the coaches, everybody. It sounds like they're getting on board, which is a great thing to see too, I'm sure, as a family, isn't it?
It's amazing. This community is incredible. But not only this community, all the communities around us, it's just amazing. The support that our family has had, the school has had, our extended family. You know, I'm originally from Mahnomen, Ryan's originally from Waubun. The Mahnomen, the Waubun communities, all the communities, the Heart of Lakes communities that Ryan, you know, Hawley, Barnesville, Perham, you know, even Fergus Falls, Lake Park, all these area teams, towns, people, they're incredible. Like, we have felt the love from everywhere. And I just can't thank people enough for that, because it's been really hard the last 3.5 years. And when you get really down, to have that support when you walk into a gym or onto the field or the stands in a neighboring community, and people from that community come up to you and they say, "We're praying for you, you know, keep going, you're an inspiration." He's amazing. We can't believe he's still doing all these things through all this treatment. I just can't tell you how much that has meant to our family. So I want to thank everybody from all the area communities for all the love they have shown us, because it has not been unnoticed. We really, truly cannot thank everybody enough. And like even his sister said, she goes, there's no amount of thank yous that can ever reach everybody and tell everybody how much we thank them. So for me, I just want to pay it forward. I want to find ways now that I can help others. What can we do to keep Ryan's light shining, and continue to thank everybody? Well, scholarships, supporting people in all this neighboring communities too. You know, I want to keep finding ways to pay it forward because that's really important to me. It's really important to our family. It was really important to Ryan, obviously, like I said earlier, to help others, help them when it's easy and help people when it's hard. Yeah. Just step up and do it. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep his light shining.
Sounds great. Dana, appreciate the time here today very much. Best of luck with everything moving forward, and thank you very much for taking the time to visit with me today.
Thank you very much for doing this piece to show how much Ryan was valued and loved, and to give me the chance to thank everybody for everything. And thank you for your support, and good luck to all the teams in for the rest of the season. And I'll be there. Our family will be there. We'll be at as much as we can because Ryan would not want us to miss anything. He wouldn't want us to miss. And we enjoy it. We do. But again, thank you to everybody. It's amazing. As he would say, if you want to be amazing, you have to work for it. So keep it going and keep your light shining.
Pass rolling to his right. They throw it. The in route to Tanner. Steck makes the catch. Steck dives for the pylon. Touchdown!
Up by the Nuggets, and an attack. That'll go for a kill from Anasteer.
Lamar looks for a block, makes a man miss at the 5. End zone touchdown. Swirls. Sets up middle. Jensen for the exclamation point kill.
30, the 20, the 15, the 10, and an 85-yard touchdown run for Landon Olsen.
Ulster Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our coverage of high school football action from Dale Scallerud Athletic Complex for Homecoming 2023. The Hawley Golden Nuggets hosting the Pelican Rapids Vikings as the Vikings come in with a record of 4-1 on the season, and the Hawley Nuggets come in with a 2-3 record into this one here tonight. Pre-game show begins officially with the actual segment of getting the interviews and ready for the action tonight. We hope you enjoyed the special tribute and dedication to Coach Ryan Syverson, who unfortunately passed away this summer to a brain cancer that he had been dealing with for the last 3.5 years. Had a great battle, a hard fight that he had to go through, not only him but his entire family, community, and team, and everybody that knew Ryan Syverson. So hope you enjoyed that opportunity to hear from his wife, Dana Syverson, about who he was as a person, and talking about the I Believe scholarship that they've set up in his name as well at Pelican Rapids High School. So we welcome the Vikings here tonight into Hawley when the Nuggets play host for their homecoming game on what's going to be a wet and cold one here in Hawley tonight. Been off and on rain throughout the day, and the mist is coming down again as people start to file in and get set for the action tonight. In our pregame show, we'll get a chance to chat with Peter Natz, head coach of the Nuggets. We'll take a look at the starting lineups and get set for the action here tonight. Hawley hosting Pelican Rapids high school football action. It's a section and conference matchup between these two teams. We're back with more. Head coach of the Nuggets, Peter Natz, will join us when we come back right after this.
Hawley Public Schools teaches over 1,000 students in grades kindergarten through 12. They do this in facilities that are either new or recently remodeled. These facilities are not only for Hawley students, but for adults too. Hawley Public Schools offers community education classes in subjects like yoga and painting, plus adult basic education for those who want their GED or who study English as a second language. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
Soon enough, temps are going to drop low, and you'll be turning the heat up high. Protect yourself from surprising heating bills by enrolling in Wild Rice Electric's off-peak heating program. You'll receive hundreds of dollars in rebates on new heating technologies like heat pumps and underfloor heat. Plus, you'll get nearly half off your electric heating rate through the winter months. That adds up fast when the snow starts to fall. Give Wild Rice Electric a call at 800-244-5709 to find out if the off-peak program is a good fit for your home and start saving today.
Christian Motors is proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer in Fertile. They've got a huge selection of new and used vehicles there on the lot. You can stop by and check the selection or go online to christianmotors.com or christiancarsonline.com. Your new vehicle is waiting for you at Christian Motors in Fertile. They are proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer. christianmotors.com, christiancarsonline.com. Stop and see the selection today. Christian Motors of Fertile.
Coach Peter Nats joining us here on our pregame show. Homecoming week for the Hawley Nuggets as they gear up for Pelican Rapids here on a Friday night. And always a fun week for the kids, getting a chance to take part in different activities and so on, but sometimes can be a distraction too. But how have things been looking this week in preparation for Pelican?
We've had a pretty good week. We asked the kids, we put something on the top of our practice schedule every day that they check out before they go out, and it's either something to focus on for the day or whatever. We asked them to give us 2 hours of concentration or focus for 2 hours when we're here at practice. Enjoy the week, enjoy the activities, participate, take part in all the stuff, and be supportive of your classmates and the rest of the student body and their activities as well. And they've done a nice job. We've had a really good week of practice. It's been really enjoyable. The weather's been cooling off a little bit, so that's nice too.
A heartbreaker there on Friday against Park Rapids, but it sounds like the kids are in with a positive attitude, ready to bounce back and try and get things back on track. And they had some great opportunities there too Friday that just didn't go your way, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know, we've been snake bit a little bit. I think I maybe used that word on Friday in the post game. We've had 2 touchdowns go against us where we have a for sure interception, but the ball is picked off or tipped by a linebacker underneath and then bounces over the head of the safety who's planning on the interception and right into the hands of the receiver for the other team for a walk-in touchdown. But, you know, we talked about this after the game too, about, you know, that's a lucky play for them. But we also realize that the harder you work and the more effort you put into it, the more luck you actually create. It's not just something that happens because you're lucky. It's because of effort and time and work put in. And the harder you work and the better you play, the more luck you create. You know, so we had opportunities, Philco, but we didn't capitalize on a turnover early in the first half down on their end, on the north end of the field. And then after halftime, we had a great defensive series and just stuffed them dead. Had a punt return to the 25 and came up empty there. So there's 2 opportunities for scores for us, plus the tip touchdown that they got was a freebie. So that's a 3-score swing right there. So, you know, our kids are playing well. They're so resilient. It's just, that's one of the most fun things about this. Losing stinks. We all know that. But working with kids that have good attitudes and they bounce back, the resiliency is what really impresses me of this group.
The other thing too, when you look back at a situation like that, and like you say, the more you create to kind of get that luck on your side. The other thing with that is looking through the stats and adding those up from the last game to the previous 4. It's almost like all the stats doubled up. I mean, you were talking about to me off the air about the fact that this is a group that is starting to come around. They're starting to see it click, and I felt that the way that they performed on Friday, that you're starting to see that too. I mean, the numbers are starting to come with it.
Well, you know, you're going to have growing pains like that. We switched our offensive scheme 100% from where it was, and we knew we were going to have some growing pains. I think we've forgotten to really look at that and examine that as coaches too, like what's going on. But it's a brand new scheme. We don't know it front to back. We don't know it like the back of our hands either. So it's a learning process for us too. And, for these kids to handle coaches that don't have their stuff all in order and super organized every single day, that's part of the resiliency and awesomeness of this group. And that just gave me a good thing to talk about right before the game with the kids.
Pelican Rapids is a team you've got coming in. They've had an excellent track record of not only a program, but especially this year too. Put together some good games and obviously a successful season. But what do you know about them as far as their strengths coming into this game that you've seen on film or just in person?
They're pretty solid all the way around. They've got great size. They've got good athleticism. Timmy Guler came back a couple weeks ago for some part-time action. Played last week, had a big game. He's really in control of the football game when he's out there, and we need to be focused on that. But aside from that, they're big, they're strong, they're athletic. They do things well defensively. They have a nice offensive scheme. They got a lot of motion. They'll make you dizzy with all their formations and their different motions and things like that. So Eli's a very creative young coach, does a nice job with that. And he's got his old man, the wily veteran Ryan, coaching their defense and as their D coordinator. And he's a dirty, rotten scoundrel too. He's got a ton of experience, and it's a classic HOL matchup, and I'm just looking forward to a great battle on both sides of the ball all night long.
Overall, as far as health and injuries, I know we talked about that before last game that you're suffering with some of those, and it sounds like kind of the same thing this week for the Nuggets.
Yeah, we've got some kids that are sick, missed some practice. We've got some kids that are injured. Jackson Skink isn't going to be able to play this week. He got banged up last week really late in the game with Park Rapids. Tristan Littleby's been out for a while with a shoulder injury, and now he's really sick. We're hoping he can make a recovery soon and even get back to school. He's been out of school for a couple of weeks already. And it's late. It's game 6, and in game 6 out of an 8-game season, everybody's going to have some sort of nick or get bunged up a little bit. So we're banged up, we're beat up, but so is Pelican. They've played as many games as us, and I don't expect anything less than their best effort tonight, and I also don't expect anything less than our best effort.
Coach Peter Nats, head coach of the Nuggets, joining us here on the pregame show. Good luck to you guys tonight.
All right, thanks, man.
Concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Hi, I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Start by giving me a call at 701-893-5648. I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. 701-893-5648. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Welcome back to Dale Scholar Athletic Complex. Yep, pop her right in there. You got me there? You can hear me good?
I got you.
All right. Man, it's like Sonny and Cher. Trademark. Better be careful.
Oh, man, if we're dropping that stuff
be
already,
careful.
what a night we're going to have.
I have to mention it's trademark. I heard that there can be issues. So, anyway, welcome to the broadcast. Welcome back to our pregame show as we get set for the action. My name is Kurt Fillion, along with Nathan Stoa, to bring you the broadcast call here tonight. And Ben Grunke is providing the videography again for yourliveevent.com. We welcome you to the broadcast here tonight as Pelican Rapids is in town for homecoming 2023 for the Hawley Nuggets, as we take a look at the starting lineups here tonight for these two teams, as you see them going through on the screen as well. Pelican getting announced, and for them, we'll look at their defensive side. We will look at their starters for this one. Starting at an outside linebacker position, a junior 5'10", 175-pounder wearing number 2, Mark Kapenga. At the middle linebacker position will be a 5'10", 170-pound junior number 4, Jack Kapenga. At the free safety position will be a 5'10", 160-pound senior number 7, Jack Paulson. A cornerback position, 6'1", 160-pound sophomore, Miguel Torres. In a middle linebacker spot, 5'10", 155-pound junior, number 11, Channing Russman. Outside linebacker, 6'2", 175-pound senior, number 12, Luke Jolie. Strong safety will be a 6'1", 175-pound senior, number 13, Ethan Sjostrom. Cornerback will be a 5'9", 135-pound freshman, number 19, Ethan Eisenman. Defensive lineman will be a 5'9", 160-pound senior, number 53, Anthony Checo D'Souza. Defensive lineman, 5'11", 210-pound senior, number 57, Caden Holt. Also on the defensive line, 6'3", 290-pound senior, number 70, Jarrett Stetz. Head coach of Pelican Rapids, Eli Beachy, assisted by Ryan Beachy, Hayden Sturdivant, Chris Hacker, Mitch Verdon, Paul Sturdivant, and Jensen Beachy. Vikings come in with a 4-1 record on the road in their white jerseys, white bottoms, black helmets, black numerals, and Vikings painted across the front of their jerseys. For the Hawley Nuggets, starting for them here tonight at a wing position, a 6'3", 170-pound senior, number 1, Brevin Stoa. At a flanker, 6'1", 172-pound junior, number 2, Zach Liebach. Their quarterback tonight, 6'5", 210-pound junior, number 7, Noah Nelson. Tight end will be a 5'10", 196-pound senior, number 8, Tyler Garai. Running back, 5'7", 155-pound senior, number 10, Lucas Skank. At a slot position as a receiver, 6'1", 172-pound junior, number 14, Levi Lelm. Their halfback, 6'2", 218-pound junior, number 22, Jack Ames. Up front on the line, right guard, 5'10", 208-pound senior, number 51, Colin Larson. Their left tackle will be a 6'1", 206-pound senior, number 60, Sam Cluck. Left guard will be a 6'2", 224-pound junior, number 64, Blake Bigger. Right tackle, 6'6", 234-pound junior, number 66, Blake Donner. And their center tonight, snapping the ball for the Nuggets, will be a 6', 286-pound senior, number 76, Alex Paulson. Peter Natz is the head coach, assisted by Tim Peterson, Nick Burcham, Aaron Haugen, Zion Smith, Travis Haugen, and Dave Ames. Nuggets 2-3 on the year, trying to avenge 2 losses in a row. With the fresh loss to Park Rapids last week as the kickoff is on the way. And we are set to go on a rainy Friday night for homecoming here tonight. Ball's taken by the Nuggets. Skank at the 11-yard line. He's going to make it up to the 27-yard line, so a nice reception there to get things going for the Nuggets.
All right, with the rain still driving in here, we'll have to see how the Nuggets choose to play the game here. I mean, a lot of pass plays last week. Both quarterbacks go over 250 yards, Noah Morris and our Noah Nelson. So teams like it in the air, but we'll see what happens this week with the rain and can we keep the ball dry. And, so how does that affect play calling?
Yeah, definitely will make an impact. That's for sure. They like to go to the air as they'll show in the shotgun formation here with 2 receivers off left, a wing off to the right in the backfield. Skank, they'll hand it off. He'll slip a little bit there. Keeps his grip, though, and able to be taken down at the 31-yard line. So he'll gain 4 yards on that play. And with those slippery conditions here, Nathan, this is going to be very difficult for both teams to try and get some traction here tonight.
Yeah, I'll jinx it here, I suppose. But the rain is supposed to stop here shortly. But we're not going to get anything of a dry field here. A lot of inside the hashes is going to get torn up. So it's going to be a lot about can you keep your footing, can the ball stay dry, and what does the quarterback exchange look like?
High formation backfield as Nelson comes under center, man in motion. Garai from left to right. Pitch out to the right side. They'll go Skank. Skank is hunted down there in the backfield. He was wrapped up momentarily by the defense and almost able to get wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Instead, he's able to scoot forward for a gain of 2. It'll make it a 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, Pelican did a good job flowing that time, and Jack Ames was the lead blocker out of the backfield for that toss play, and he absolutely buried his guy, but it was one of the 3 that were there, and the other 2 were able to combine for a tackle.
So Nuggets will come out of the huddle here, just underway, getting the first offensive possession tonight on their homecoming night of 2023. They'll go through the coronation at halftime. We'll keep it here for that so you can check that out to see who gets crowned king and queen for the week. As the handoff, fake Nelson going to keep it himself, powers his way forward. He's got enough for the first down. He needed 4. He got 5, moved the chains for the Nuggets.
Yeah, jet motion, Levi Lelm, and then it was the option decision there for with Nelson and Skank, whether to what he read on the play, whether to give the ball to Skank or pull it himself, and that time he pulled it. And, extend the drive here. Good start so far.
Nuggets have it 1st down and 10 at their own 39-yard line. Started at their 27. On the fourth play of this drive, shotgun formation they're going to try for with 2 receivers split off to that right side. Nelson will keep it himself and tries to take it. He'll be taken down at the 40-yard line, so a short gain on the play. Had the option off that left side, decided I don't want to try, and probably a good decision, especially with how wet it is, and trying to keep not only the grip on your feet, but also the grip on the ball and trying to get a good pitch out to his running back there.
Right, and that's a weak hand pitch coming in the near side. That'd be left hand for Noah, but more than anything, I thought he made the right read regardless of the conditions. The pitch man was covered, and so he had to turn that up, and actually would have had a sizable gain, but was 70 in there. I don't have his name at the moment, but it was 70 that got him by the shoestrings.
Jarrett Stetz for Pelican Rapids with that tackle, as you mentioned. Shotgun formation. Nelson fakes a pass. He's going to be pressured. Boy, pressure getting in there quick. And one of the first guys there was Channing Rustman. Boy, he came in with a head of steam, and he made him pay for it there. That's going to be a loss of 4 on the play for the Nuggets.
Yeah, that almost looked like it was a design quarterback draw just by what the pocket looked like. But I can't believe that was the play based on the fact that routes were run there. So it's a lot of stuff, just like every week for Hawley, is going to come down to what the line is going to allow Noah time to do.
That'll make it a 3rd down and a long 12 here for the Hawley Nuggets, as Lelm is going to come off. Thought he was coming over to be a receiver. Instead, he'll come off the field as they had one too many there. And we've got a timeout for the Nuggets with 8:41 to play first quarter. Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard. Hawley and Pelican Rapids, no score early on in this one from Dale Scalaroot Athletic Complex on yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
A 3rd down situation for the Hawley Nuggets coming here, as the Nuggets on the year 15 for 60 in 3rd down conversions, as they've had many opportunities, as it shows. And this would be a longer attempt at a conversion here as they set up in that shotgun formation with 2 receivers off to the right, along with the wing. In the backfield is Jack Ames with quarterback Noah Nelson. Stoa gets set on the left side as a receiver. Ball's going to be knocked away. Good read there coming in for Pelican Rapids. You could see him just sniffing that one out, and knocking that ball away was Ethan Shostrom, a senior, in the backfield for Pelican Rapids.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of confusion there. That one was behind the Lucas Skanks route, which looked to be a little bit of a post route there, or a slant, and it was behind Lelm, who had looked like he was going to take his route a little bit deeper. So looked to me like a little bit of miscommunication there between the quarterback and his receiving core.
So that'll make it a 4th down and 12. So the Nuggets go set in punting formation, and back to punt this one away is going to be Kopacek. Boots this one high, gets beyond the 50, sliding almost sliding right into the ball. There was the player Trayvon Benson, who was coming up and trying just to stay out of the way as he saw the special teams of Hawley coming after it, and they'll down it at the 42-yard line. That's where Pelican will have it.
I didn't catch who the long snapper was on that play, but that's another injury substitution, as sophomore corner Jackson Skank has been the long snapper here for the last few weeks, and he is out this week. So to take a look at that one again, but that's a very solid snap by someone who hasn't done it at the varsity level so far.
Yeah, injuries, some sickness that the Nuggets have been dealing with over the last couple of weeks here has been tough to try and shuffle around and figure things out, but they've had guys step up in different situations and do what they need to do. As the handoff goes straight up the gut, Guler was going to keep it himself, instead hands it off to Jack Kapenga, and Kapenga will move forward for a gain of 3.
Yeah, this is going to be the complex stuff for the Nugget defense, is figuring out who has the football back there and knowing that the most electric player in the backfield for Pelican is their quarterback.
2 players shift over onto the line there. Handoff goes Kapenga straight up the middle, and he's going to be bounced around there by a few defenders and eventually taken down right before the 50-yard line at the 49. He'll gain 5 yards on the play. It'll make it a 3rd down and 4.
Yep, some motion there basically to get them to the same situation they were in before, the same type of read pass option there for Guler.
So 3rd and 4, 7:35 to play first quarter. No score between the Vikings and the Nuggets here tonight on yourliveevent.com. Snap almost goes a little high, jumping to get that. Handoff goes to Kapenga again. Nice read by Jack Ames, one of the first ones there defensively, and coming on the bottom of that pile. Looks like he's shaking up there too. I was trying to see who that was also clogging up that hole to not let much happen for Pelican Rapids.
Looks a single-digit number. I believe we're looking at Tyler Girai there. That is down. Big situation here for Pelican early, a decision to make. It looks like they're going to keep their offense on the field and potentially go for this one here.
Yeah, so you got a 4th and 3 is what it'll be with the injured player. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back with more from Hawley right after this.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends, and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Respectful, responsible, safe, and kind. Those are the values taught by Hawley Public Schools. Hawley's PBIS team, Positive Behavior, Interventions, and Supports, aims to encourage a positive and respectful learning environment and uphold the social and emotional well-being of all students and staff. Learn more about Hawley Public Schools at hawley.k12.mn.us. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
Injured player slowly getting to his feet here. As you mentioned, it was Tyler Girai shaken up on that play, is being assisted by head coach Peter Natz and trainer Greg Martadam. And they're actually going to hoist him up and not put any pressure on, I don't know if it was ankle or a knee. We were trying to figure that out as to what they were working on, but in that vicinity anyway. So we'll hope for the best here for Tyler Girai, but never a good sign when they can't put any pressure coming off the sideline here.
Yeah, all we can speculate and know right now is everything shows it's right leg, and after that it's going to be Greg's ball field here to take a look at it and see where to go next.
The Vikings will have it. They're gonna go for it on a 4th down and 3 near midfield. As the snap goes to Guler, he'll hand it off right at the last second. It looked like he was going to keep it. Hangs on to the ball there to the very last second every time, and this is going to be close. It depends on where they spot this ball, but Jack Kapenga is the one who gets the gain of at least a couple of yards. But, I think they're calling it short. So a gain of 2 when he needed 3. And it's a turnover on downs.
That is a big solo tackle for middle linebacker Jack Ames. He is, both sides of the football this year, he's this team's MVP, in my opinion. Right now, it's just the quality play that he provides, well-rounded and everything. But he is as tough as they come. But he's got the brain on to back it up on the football field. He read that play well, and then was able to bring him down all by himself, solo tackle.
So a 1st down and 10, great opportunity for the Nuggets at their own 49-yard line with a big stop there, not allowing any 1st downs and turnover on down in just 4 plays. Here, airing this one out left side for Stoa. Stoa's got some room. Oh, slips through the hands and incomplete. Boy, just an extra step there against the defense of Ethan Eisenman for Pelican Rapids, who was almost stride for stride. They were taking steps together there, and it looked like Stoa maybe had a step right at the end. And that one slipped up just enough at the end for an incomplete pass.
Yeah, it's one of those where that's a really well-thrown ball by Nelson when you consider the fact that his receivers aren't going to be as quick today as they usually would be on dry turf. And so to put that one on the money, and Brevin with the extra effort at the end, he knows he wants to have hauled that one in. So we'll see if they come back to it.
Showing a little bit of blitz on the ends there as a handoff. Nope, it's going to be Nelson keeping it himself. He's not going to get a whole lot of room, maybe a yard. He's going to be close to the 50, gain maybe a half a yard. So maybe a 3rd down and 9 is what it'll be here for the Nuggets, so it will give him 1 yard.
Yeah, with the exception of the first play from scrimmage where Skank slipped up a little bit and then kept his footing right now. Down lineman down lineman in white right now. Soon they'll be wearing black with the mud, but the down lineman in white right now are winning this battle up front.
Nose of the football right behind the 50-yard line here, so Nuggets trying to move the ball. Vikings making it tough, as did the Nuggets defense against Pelican Rapids in their first offensive series. Shotgun formation. 2 receivers off left, 1 up top on the right side. Nelson steps back, airs this one out right side. Ball is going to be deflected a couple of times. Liebach was the intended receiver, and the coverage was there for Pelican Rapids. A nice job by the cornerback there to get the coverage.
Yep, that was well-played defense by Pelican Rapids. That's pretty textbook high school cornerback play. Noah went quick with his read, thought that he had Liebach to get a step, and the ball was slightly maybe underthrown, but all in all, really solid defense there as Hawley took their chances.
Yeah, that was excellent coverage. They're staying stride for stride against the receivers here tonight, and I'm sure they've done their homework. They've seen that Hawley likes to pass, had 29 attempts last week in the loss to Park Rapids, 30-27, as Pelican Rapids came off a victory over Frazee last week, 32-22. Punt goes, and this is a fair catch call at the 25-yard line, and that's where Pelican Rapids will have it, first down and 10.
So now that time with Geary going out, now the punt team has a backup long snapper in, and then now a backup personal protector out there. So far, no teams have really come after Hawley on, as far as punt block goes, but that might be something that Pelican looks at as the game goes on. We're knowing that snap's getting back there just a little bit slower, and you've got a couple different bodies up there blocking.
Midway through the first quarter of play, as we play between the trenches here, between the 20s, as it'll be Pelican Rapids setting up shotgun formation, trips to the right, receiver off left as well. Now a man in motion coming up near the line as well as a wing. That's Kapanga, who is the running back. Guler can't find anybody, shuffles to the left, and he gets to the first down and beyond, up to the 50, 45, diving forward for a little extra effort against Levi Lelm, who takes him down, but not until a big gainer there for Pelican Rapids.
So every receiver was over on the right side of the field. Guler gave his receivers a look, a very brief look, but saw there was absolutely no contain on the right side of the defensive formation, and he took off. Just like last week with Noah Morris, you have to contain this quarterback because, when we struggled to do it last week, we just turned up the dial talent-wise.
It was a 32-yard run by Timmy Guler, the quarterback, who's had some injury situations here throughout this season. Struggled with a foot injury, it sounds like, or knee injury. So good to see him back out on the field. I'm sure the Nuggets would rather see him on the on the sideline, but it's never good to see a kid having to go through an injury situation. I know the Nuggets have the same. We've talked about some of the injuries, but one of their senior members too, Devon Stock, who is out throughout this entire season. That's a tough blow for a kid that's worked so hard to get to where they've been at athletically.
Well, and the connection that Timmy has to a lot of the kids in the area, but kids in Hawley as well. As soon as Devon's prognosis was given, Timmy was one of the first guys to reach out to him and kind of talk through the process.
Snap to Guler is going to be shaken there at the 50-yard line, and here come the Nuggets with the pressure. Jack Ames that you talked about before. He gets the sack on that play, and a nice heads-up play defensively, forcing a 7-yard loss with that sack.
Yeah, and they gave him some good progress there, where they must have blown that play dead, but that's our first situation really truly where a wet football has come into play.
So right at midfield at the 50-yard line is where it's placed. Back to pass, Guler looking to that right side. Everybody spread out. Pass into the middle is going to be a reception. They'll get close to the first down here. They're going to make it all the way up to the 35-yard line, so they gain a lot of that yardage back, a 15-yard gain when they needed 17.
Really smart delivery there by Guler. Waited and picked the receiver that had settled into that zone, into a passing window, I should say, and then was able to put one on his numbers.
15-yard reception to Miguel Torres, who was the receiver there. 3rd down and 2 for Pelican Rapids. Back to pass, faking the pass now. Guler going to try and take it himself. Tries to flick it forward there as he was being wrapped up on the play. Dangerous spot there as Colin Larson coming up with the tackle on the play. And did they say his knee was down before he got that ball out? It looks like it is.
Well, if they didn't, they would have probably had to throw in a flag for intentional grounding. So I think they were going to say he was either in the grasp or that his knee was down via the sack. Again, good pass coverage that time. Everybody was everybody was doing their job in the Nugget defensive backfield, and that allowed the linemen to win their battles up front.
4th and 6 is what it'll be. 4:36 to play first quarter. Man, they send as a wing now on that right side. They'll hand it off straight up the middle. Capenga's not going to get enough. And the Nuggets get another big stop, a turnover on downs on a 5-play drive for Pelican Rapids.
Yeah, we haven't seen a punter here for Pelican, or not even a thought of it either time. That's either extreme confidence in what they can do up front and what they can do with their leader in the backfield, or just what they don't think Hawley can stop. But so far, 2 times challenged, 2 times they've come up winners here with the Nugget defense. Now they need to sustain a drive.
So from the 36-yard line is where the Nuggets will have it with 4.5 to play in the first quarter. No score between these two teams as we go back and forth. A punt to turnover on downs, a punt to turnover on downs. That's how the offense has gone here tonight. Both teams with 2 offensive series. Hawley will try for their 3rd. Handoff goes straight up the gut. This is going to be Lucas Skink. Scoots his way forward with the defense draped on him, too. It's going to be a gain of 2.
Yep. Well done there to carve out a little bit of territory there, get some positive yardage going forward. Interesting interaction there at the end as Skank tried to reach it out to the line, and the Pelican defender tried to kick it back. And wherever the spot is, it looked like the Pelican defender kicking it back 1.
It'll be a second. They actually gave him a few yards there. It'll be a 2nd down and 7. 3 carries for 9 yards for Lucas Skank. 4 carries for 3 yards for Noah Nelson. We got a penalty flag coming. We've got a procedure penalty that the official is signaling here. So the first penalty of the game going against the Nuggets will be a 5-yard penalty.
There's something, I didn't see it, but something must have happened along the right side of the line, which would have been that official's call. It's the only pond he is supposed to be fishing in over there, so it's either going to be an encroachment type penalty or an offsides penalty.
Nuggets had a number of penalties last week against Park Rapids, totaling 115 yards in penalties last week in the loss to Park Rapids. 2nd down and 12 it is for the Nuggets. Snap goes, handoff to Jack Ames, straight up the middle. He's going to make it up to the 40-yard line. So a gain beyond the original line of scrimmage and make it a 6-yard gain there. It'll be a 3rd down and about 5 here for the Nuggets.
Yeah, the Nuggets rely so much on Jack Ames on defense that they've used him, only when necessary on offense. But today might be an entire game of necessity with how hard he runs the football and the type of mudding type game this could be.
And he seems like one that can handle that too. Likes the contact, likes to get in there, get his nose dirty a little bit, and get in on the plays regardless whether it's offense or defense. They'll set back the block. The pass is going to be going for, it was intended for Liebach there. And again, the defense right with the hand, the paw right in there by Trayvon Benson, not allowing anything to happen as he got a good swipe right as the ball got placed into the hands of Liebach. Incomplete pass.
So as the game goes on, this will bring us to, a pretty interesting spot here. As Pelican's been good, kind of running those routes or covering the routes that Hawley runs a lot. But each one of those has a counter to it. So as the game goes on, if the ball can stay dry and Noah can, find a good grip on it, there's a chance for, a double move here and there that could take advantage of some of that aggressiveness.
4th and 5. They'll snap it back for a punt. This one's a line drive end over end that bounces at the 45. And it's going to knock off of Guler. Was close to that ball, but I don't think it touched him there. It's going to make it to the 30-yard line. That's where it'll be down by the Nuggets.
I got a little excited and forgot there was a microphone in front of me, but I thought it rolled right up his leg from our angle, obviously by the absolute lack of celebration that's going on or displeasure on the other side. I was completely wrong and still had a microphone in front of my face.
That's right. Remember, it's a hot mic all the time.
All the time.
All the time, Stoa. All right, 1st down and 10. So we're sticking with the theme. All punts for the Nuggets. It's been all turnover on downs for Pelican Rapids here early on in this one. 2:49 to play in the first quarter. As the snap goes, handoff. Nope, Guler's going to keep it himself, and he's going to power his way forward for a gain of, he's going to be close to 10-yard gain. It's going to be about a 9-yard, or it was 10. They're moving the chains. I was going to say I thought it was a little bit short, but it is a 1st down for Pelican Rapids, their 2nd of the night.
Yep, jet sweep into the option fake, so the keeper for Guler off of the right side.
Guler 4 carries, 31 yards here in this first quarter of play. Pitch out to the left side. Capenga is going to get it, and he is going to be taken down hogtied there by Jack Ames on the legs, not letting him go anywhere. But he fell forward for a gain of 2, so it'll make it a 2nd down and 8.
Jack Ames read the option, pitched there really well, scraped down the line of scrimmage to make that tackle for a short gain. Colin Larson was in the backfield as well, but he didn't have the quickness quite there to go with the running back.
It was Jack versus Jack there, Capenga versus Ames. Capenga again straight up the middle, and he was just stood up right at the line of scrimmage, and then it was one of those situations where you better hold on to the ball because you got guys trying to rip that away too. He did a good job of that, especially with these wet conditions. No gain, it'll be a 3rd and 8.
I think that was Gunnar Fleming there, junior outside linebacker, came up that time and incredibly textbook for a straight-on tackle. Got his head across the body to the right side and was just driving his feet until his friends came to help.
Shotgun formation here for Pelican Rapids. A lot of movement they have there between shifts and also men in motion as the Guler going to take it himself. He needed 8 yards, and he got 9. Another nice gain there by Timmy Guler, up to 40 yards on the night for him. Gets Pelican Rapids their 3rd first down and gets them into Hawley territory at the 49.
Yeah, you're not going to bring him down with a single arm tackle above his waist. You're going to have to go. You're going to have to go to the legs. You're going to have to wrap him up, knees and down, if you're going to want to bring Guler down.
Guler back to pass. Looking, pass into the middle. He's going to find a receiver there. That's Torres. He's up to the first down. Scoots around to get a little bit more yardage up to the 34. He's spun around there a few times by Liebach and eventually taken down. They'll give him the forward motion up to the 34-yard line, so that is going to be a reception for another first down for Pelican.
Yeah, Torres did a really good job hauling in a difficult reception there. The ball was down below his waist as Guler saw him open and fired it. Stoa missed the tackle and then got back in the mix when Liebach was there as they were trying to strip that ball.
Back to pass, Guler on a 1st and 10, straight into the middle. Taken down on the play is going to be the receiver there, Trayvon Benson. And Benson at the 25-yard line, and he's going to be close to that first down. It's going to be a 9-yard gain on that pass.
Yep, now the entire playbook is open here for Pelican. Expect some sort of play action off of a motion or into anything that they have here in 2nd and short.
2nd and 1, they'll send that man in motion up to the line. Back to pass again. Now Guler passes off the mark for the intended receiver, Torres. That's who he's been going to. Torres has quite a few grabs here coming into this game here tonight. As far as the receptions go, he in fact led the team with 14 receptions, 226 yards, and a touchdown leading into this game here tonight. So he's definitely a receiver that they like to go to.
Yeah, and I'll take it back. They decided to go empty there, but now 3rd and 1, really 2 chances to pick this up.
Handoff goes left side. This is going to be Capenga again. He only needed that yard, and he gained 9 on that play, so a good power run there by Jack Capenga, his 8th carry of the night for 24 yards.
Oh, Pelican O-line's wearing on the Nugget D-line right now. That was a big hole, and there wasn't anybody that touched him till well past linebacker level.
Up to their 5th first down of the night, 4 on this offensive drive alone. Guler will keep it himself, shakes off a couple up to the 5, tries to dive in for the touchdown, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 1-yard line. So a good gain there by Timmy Guler as they started that run at the 16-yard line, so a 15-yard gain, and we've got an injured player in the end zone for the Nuggets. As just up to another big gainer there. Up to 55 yards for Timmy Guler in the first quarter on 6 carries. And that will put an end to our first quarter of play on the Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard. We're scoreless between Pelican and Hawley, but the Pelican Rapids Vikings are knocking on the door to kick off the second quarter. We're back with more right after this.
Community Co-op provides energy solutions. Farm fuels, lubricants, propane, and natural gas are all available to farms, homes, and businesses from Lakes Community Co-op. They enjoy working with their customers to meet your fuel and energy solutions. Call Lakes Community Co-op today, 1-888-935-2281 for farm fuel pricing, contract programs, farm lubricants, propane pricing, and delivery for farm, home, business, and natural gas service. Lakes Community Co-op, your co-op in your community.
Back here we get set for the second quarter of action. Injured player they're still tending to on the other goal line here, Levi Lelm, as they tend to him. The Lost in the Valley Corn Maze and Pumpkin Patch running Fridays through Sundays until October 29th. at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds in West Fargo. You can mark your calendars for this. There's new activities this year with jumping pillow, trike track, playground, photo opportunities, and more. Dazed in the Maze for adults, 21 plus, is October 13th and October 27th. You can get your tickets. For more information, go online to redrivervalleyfair.com. So a fun little event that can be going on here during the month of October leading up to Halloween that you can check out over at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds in West Fargo. Pelican Rapids has it. First and goal at the 1 yard line. Guler had it. I don't know if he handed it off to Kapanga or if Guler still had it.
No, he handed that one off, and then he gave him a little Philadelphia Eagle action there.
There we go.
Gave him a little bit of a push into the end zone.
So there we go. So Pelican Rapids will score first. Jack Kapanga, a 1 yard touchdown run. So Kapanga with 9 carries, 25 yards here tonight, and gets that touchdown to cap off a 9-play drive that started with 2:49 to play in the first quarter. And we've got a couple of guys in motion there at the same time, so procedure penalty going against Pelican Rapids will be their first for 5 yards. But it took till late in the first quarter and entering into the second quarter that Pelican Rapids gets the first score on the board for either team. So they'll try for the extra points here again as they'll move them back 5 yards to the 8 yard line is where it'll be placed.
We're going to get some substitutions in as they with a different situation here and going back 5 yards. They're going to be looking to something different than the confusion and the motion that they attempted the first time.
So there we go. Guler will try the pass into the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. Incomplete on the 2-point conversion attempt. So on your Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard, second quarter, 11:55 to play. Pelicans scores first. They lead 6-0 over Hawley in high school football action. Homecoming 2023 from Hawley tonight on yourliveevent.com.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Pelican getting set to kick this one away. As Grady Larson for Pelican, a freshman, boots this one away right down the middle near the 15-yard line is where it's taken by Lucas Skank. Skank up to the 30, and past that he slides out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. And that's where the Nuggets will have it first down and 10, and it'll be actually at the 35.
Yeah, I would kick over to on the right side of my formation going this way all the time, because not only was Lucas having to fight a wet field, he was having to fight a hill.
Makes it a little bit little tougher on the obstacles that you have to go through. It looks like the rain has let up, though, so hopefully that is the case for the rest of the night. It's been just off and on throughout the day, and including during the Gold Rush celebration they had here to celebrate homecoming out in the parking lot, little tailgating event that people came to enjoy. It was fun to be part of that and check it out. A lot of good festivities that were happening during that, so thanks to everybody who helped make that possible tonight. As Pelican Rapids getting a big defensive stop against Lucas Skank. He was trying to get away from the defense, but they were not letting anything happen. Jack Kapanga, one of the first ones there defensively to wrap him up and make the stop. It'll make it a second down and 13.
Yeah, everybody on film has seen the Nugget O-line have trouble with pressure. That was big plays last week. They had trouble with the blitzes that Park Rapids was bringing, so Pelican is bringing an extra guy at least every time here. And that time, Skank had no chance to get anything going up front because it was 3 white jerseys on him the moment he had the football.
Second and 13 for the Nuggets. Shotgun formation, wing off to the right, receiver off to each end as well. Nelson, there's this one out right side over to Skank. Skank initially had a block there. Liebach couldn't get a good look at the other player right near him, or he would have had to block him in the back to do anything. So a good decision to stay out of the way, and Skank just created a little bit more by himself. was able to get 8 yards on that play, make it a 3rd and 5.
That's a great play call right there. Is both linebackers, it looked like to me, or maybe it was the safeties, but either way, both Stoa and Liebach were double covered on their routes, which led easily for Skank to sneak in underneath the or at linebacker level to haul that one in and find positive yardage.
So on the 3rd and 5, they'll try to convert here. Low snap, going to roll for Nelson. He's just going to slide on that ball, and that will make it a big loss. They're going to lose 10 on that play and make it a 4th down and long for the Nuggets.
All right, we got a flag here now too. It's going to be something, I think, after the play, but we're not going to. I'm not quite sure who it's going to be on. If there was some extra blocking going on after the whistle, or who the official from the near sideline is pointing at.
Yeah, a little extracurricular activities that we see. So they're sorting this one out, trying to limit the penalties like we had last week. They got to be a very tough. Tough game to finish off there. That third quarter, it felt like never ending last week.
So it's dead ball's going to give Hawley a 1st down here.
Personal foul going against Pelican Rapids after that play and at the end.
That come from the result of the play or from the first? Okay, so moved it ahead from where the play ended, and now 1st down from whatever that is. It looks like the 44.
Yep, from the 44. So a second penalty against Pelican Rapids will result in the 1st down. Second 1st down of the night for the Nuggets. And they'll be at their own 44-yard line. So 2 receivers will split off to the left, 1 to the right for Hawley with the wing off to that left side. That's Ames. Skank next to Nelson in the backfield. Paulson, the center, will snap this one back. Mishandled a bit there by Nelson, and he's wrapped up quick. Boy, that defense, they were in there just with about 2 steps right from the point that ball was snapped. Alex Tabery, the senior, up on that defensive line. Boy, he was just Johnny on the spot to get that and wrap up Noah Nelson and make it a very, very daunting experience for the Hawley offense.
Well, and you're talking about a timing game here where it's timing patterns, but it's also time of the shotgun snap to get back. That should have been hauled in by Noah. That one he's got to take on himself there, but that threw everything out of whack. And then, like I said, those Pelican D linemen are getting in there pretty well untouched here too often.
It was a 10-yard loss on the play. It'll make it a 2nd down and close to 20. Airing this one out left side, and it's going to be over the head and into the Pelican Rapids bench. Brevin Stoa, the intended receiver, right near the 1st down marker, but an incomplete pass is what it'll be as Nelson 1 for 6 in the air with 8 yards tonight.
No, I think there's some confusion there as it looked like Stoa was running a stop route of some kind, and Noah thought maybe it was a stop and go or a deep fade, so they weren't on the same page in the same book on that play.
So another 3rd down situation for the Nuggets to try and converted off the penalty last time to get them a 1st down and a new set of downs. It seems like 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Here's Nelson dropping back. Here's this one over to Jack Ames. Has a little bit of room, has to create now against a few defenders that set up a little wall right at the original line of scrimmage. He was almost able to get back to that. He's able to gain about 8 yards on the play. It'll be a 4th down and 10.
Yeah, good job there by the linebackers of Pelican not to give in to the screen play. I didn't get to see the down linemen to see how they did if they retraced their steps, but ultimately you had Stoa on the far side of the field with double coverage. He was jammed and had a safety over the top, and it was 3 guys over here on the near side with Lelm and with Liebach. So good option to use the running backs, just not enough space for Ames to operate.
A little longer offensive series here for the Nuggets, but again, same result as they had the first 3 times, and that's a punt. This one's going to roll inside the 20 to the 17 is where it's going to be downed by Liebach, and that's where Pelican Rapids will take over with 8:23 to play in the first half.
Hawley's, as far as the field position battle goes, they've done a good job with that. They just can't let Guler get out of the pocket and flip that field position.
Pelican led by Jack Kapanga, 9 carries, 25 yards, and their solo touchdown. Timmy Guler's got 6 carries. He leads in total yards with 55, plus 39 passing tonight on 3 of 4 in the air. Handoff goes Capenga. Oh, he bounces off a couple of players onto the 50. He's got the open field to the 20. 10, touchdown for Pelican Rapids on their first play from scrimmage. And that is going to be an 83-yard touchdown run by Jack Capenga.
Has an impressive run as he broke 2 tackles near I think linebacker safety level there. He was able to leap over the arm tackle of Stoa, and he was able to shrug himself out of another tackle right after that. And those were the only 2 guys that had a chance at him before he was gone. So field position battle is irrelevant when you've got the ability to flip it 80 yards.
That'll make it 12-0. They'll try for a 2-point conversion here and get a couple more on the board. Unable to convert on the first touchdown. That was early in the second quarter. Pitch out to the right side, and in the trot is Trayvon Benson to get the 2-point conversion. That will make it 14-0 on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard. 8:09 to play first half. Pelican in front of Hawley here tonight on YourLiveEvent.com.
Stocked with reliable service from Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Our team specializes in everything concrete. That means hand tools and equipment, rebar of all shapes and sizes, concrete forming packages and ICFs, decorative concrete materials like color, stain, sealers, and coatings. And let's not forget our impressive fleet of winter construction equipment to keep the concrete flowing all year round. If you've got concrete questions, we've got concrete answers at Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Visit us today at any of our 6 locations.
Well, a 1-play drive that lasted 14 seconds for Pelican Rapids. 83-yard touchdown run by Jack Capenga. 2-point conversion by Trayvon Benson was good to make it 14-0. Not a bad way to start an offensive series at your own 17-yard line. As this ball is going to be kicked, it'll roll out of bounds. It'll bring out a penalty flag. And we'll see if the Nuggets will take it. Or if they'll make him re-kick.
Kicker slipped as he was approaching the football, so that one came off a little wild. This isn't going to be, a solo tackle game for Hawley. All the big plays so far, with the exception of the one that came on the bad snap by Pelican, have been solo tackle plays, and they've been Jack Ames solo tackle plays, and the one Gunnar Fleming play earlier. This isn't going to be a solo tackle game. This is going to have to be a gang tackle game, and Hawley right now is not getting multiple guys to the football.
Nuggets will try and get something going offensively here against a stingy defense we've seen out of Pelican Rapids. Hawley will have it at their own 35-yard line with 8:09 to play in the second. Snap goes to Nelson, left side pass will go Brevin Stoa. Stoa wrapped up in the backfield, and he's not going to gain anything. In fact, that's going to be a loss on the play of a few yards. It'll make it a 2nd down and 13.
That's a long way for the ball to be in the air, and it floated a little bit to get there. Now, as we saw last week, that does set up the slot receiver getting down the field, which I'm sure Pelican saw a couple different times on film as Levi was running free last week. But that's what can be set up from that play, whether the first one is positive or not.
2 receivers off to the right, one up top on the left there with a wing as well on the right end. The wide open field for the Hawley Nuggets. Skank in the backfield with Nelson. Fakes the pass, airs this one out as an open receiver. Lelm got the ball. Oh, he was knocked loose. I think there was some contact before he could get that ball, but nothing called. That's going to be incomplete is what they'll list it as on the old stat sheet.
So came back to exactly what we were talking about. Just flipped it to the other side of the field, and Liebach was your fake basically on that screenplay, and then contact early. But we had this officiating crew down in Barnesville, and pass interference has to be very, very obvious in order for those flags to come out. And that one looked relatively good. Maybe he was there early, but we learned that night that it's going to have to be a little bit more obvious.
So 3rd and 13 is what it'll be for the Nuggets. And that shotgun formation as Nelson will get him set, man in motion as Jack Ames you see on the screen coming across, and we've got a timeout before that ball can be snapped. Timeout for the Nuggets, 7:18 to play first half. A 3rd and 13 is what they're facing when they come back, trailing 14-0 on the Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard.
Incorporated is hiring a full-time play-by-play sports announcer and broadcast sales representative. Duties include selling advertising time for radio, digital, video streaming, and regional cable TV. Play-by-play responsibilities include live play-by-play of local sporting events for radio, video streaming, and regional cable TV broadcasts. Wage plus talent and commission pay structure with full-time benefits package offered. For more information or to apply, email apply@rjbroadcasting.com. That's apply@rjbroadcasting.com.
Back here as they get out of the huddle, getting set after the timeout here. I just want to give you a heads up with Homecoming 2023 going on. At halftime, we'll have it here, and we will have the Homecoming coronation, which will be right out on the field. We'll crown the king and queen for Hawley here tonight as they host Pelican Rapids in their homecoming game. So a fun week. It has been fun at the old elementary school this week, I'm guessing.
There's been a lot of stuff going on. I'd lie if I said I wasn't completely preoccupied with setting up a cross-country course for.
Oh, that's right. That was yesterday. That's right.
For a little bit of the time, but no, it's been a fun week as it usually is.
A lot of good things that happen and a lot of entertainment, some spirit that they've had, trying to do some things in the school and throughout the community, which makes it an entertaining time. As Nelson out of the timeout, drops back in a 3rd and 13, will keep it himself, trying to get to the sideline here and trying to get that first down. He saw that marker on their sideline. He's diving for it, and we'll see where they mark this ball. It's going to be close.
Yep, he's going to get the near side guys pointing, saying first down.
Very great effort there by Noah Nelson, and a heads-up play, too, because of that coverage that Pelican has had here tonight. Did the smart thing and just took it on the run and got that first down. Needed 13. That's exactly what he got.
Yep, they've been putting safety help over the top of the single receiver. Last time it was Stoa, and they've got another safety help along with man coverage. It appears to be when the duo the twins are on one side of the field, so it's another way to get Nelson running and take advantage of Pelican's game plan.
Handoff goes straight up the middle. Lucas Skank trying to find some room. That ball's just forked right out of there by the Pelican Rapids defense, and they're going to jump on that ball. The Nuggets were able to get it. Boy, that was coming in there defensively. Luke Hawley for Pelican Rapids.
I think they're going to say that his progress was
progress
stopped,
okay, I was going to say that.
It seemed like it clearly was. He didn't have a leg left to use as it was wrapped up there. So up here, it's hard to hear the whistle.
Yeah, so they must have blown the whistle right before. As you could see on there, Luke Hawley just put his arm in there and just ripped that ball loose. So it's a dead ball situation is what it ended up being there. It'll be no gain on the play for Lucas Skank and a 2nd down and 10. Man in motion is Lelm. Handoff goes. Nope, Nelson's keeping it himself. He's going to power forward for a gain of about 5 on that one. It'll make it a 3rd down and 5 for the Nuggets.
So 3rd and manageable here. This game, it doesn't really matter right now if it's 75 degrees and beautiful out right now, or if it's whatever we have and muddy. It's time for the Nugget O-line to gel here and give the running backs a crease or two, and to give Nelson some time to deliver a football.
So 3rd and 5 right at midfield, 50-yard line. Nelson will get set in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Nelson will keep it himself here momentarily. He's trying to find some room and not able to find too much. He's able to get 3 of the 5 that he needed for that first down. So it'll make it a 4th down and 2 here for the Nuggets.
Yeah, Noah either had a quick read on that one or it was a designed run because he didn't give the routes a ton of time to develop. Was able to carve some space out. Kopacek is coming back off the field, so that means the punter's on the sideline. Hawley's looking to go for it.
You can see with the defense here, the Nuggets 16 carries as a team for 16 yards is what they've got offensively as far as the carries go. We'll look at stats at halftime for you, too, after the coronation that we'll have. 4th down and 3 it'll be for Hawley as Nelson will bark it out. He'll get the snap. Handoff goes straight up the middle. Jack Ames, and he says, just get out of my way. I want to get in there for the first down, and he does. He needed 3. He got 4, And that will keep the drive alive on the first down of the night for the Nuggets.
That was a no-nonsense run. Jack Ames took the football, and he was going. Offensive line gave him enough of a crease for him to be able to run straight ahead and then be the tough running back to tackle that we know him to be.
And that's what they need. You just got to go straight forward, go against that defense because they're coming at you hard. They're going aggressive on that defensive line, and their linebackers are shooting in quick. So if you can get to that second layer like he does right here, Jack Ames is going to be wrapped up on the legs there. Jack Paulson is the one coming up with the tackle, solo tackle for him for Pelican Rapids defensively. But that was a 6-yard gain for Jack Ames. He's got 3 carries for 16 yards.
As good run, good production there. Came off of a fake to Lucas Skank, and then Nelson pulled that out of his belly to give it to Ames. And that time, again, the right side of the O-line, there was a crease there. That's Colin Larson, and that's Big Blake Downer.
2nd and 4, shotgun formation. Nuggets are moving it here late in the second quarter, 3:45 to play. Handoff goes Skink straight up the middle. He is speared for a moment, and he's able to keep his footing there and spins forward for a little extra yardage there. That's going to be a gain of 3, and it'll make it a 3rd down and a long 2 for the Nuggets.
A lot of guys bigger than Lucas Skank that don't run as hard as Lucas Skank, and that was an example of that, where he has taken an absolute pounding this year, whether it's kick return or whether it's as a running back in regular offensive formations. He absolutely runs hard.
So 3rd down and short this time. They've had a lot of 3rd and longs tonight. They finally get a 3rd and short. Fake the handoff. Nelson airs it out left side. Oh my goodness! There's a collision, tripping up. And I don't think there was anybody actually pushing on that play. Their legs just got all tripped up as they were trying to go on the routes. So that'll be an incomplete pass here as Lelm and Stoa were both trying to get in that same area, and the defense was right there too. So there was 4 guys all just kind of jumbled together. And bam, everybody kind of falls down. 3 of the 4 pins went down, so you got to go for the spare on the next one. But a 4th down and 2 it'll be for the Nuggets here on that incomplete pass.
Yeah, not sure if that was just poor route running or what the combination was there, or miscommunication between the quarterback and his receivers.
Nelson's 3 of 10 on the night for 14 yards in the air at a 259-yard passing night last week against Park Rapids. As the handoff goes straight up the middle, and the Nuggets needed a couple, and I don't think they got it. I think they got 1, and that was it. So a turnover on downs going against the Nuggets.
Yeah, that's a play again. If you're going to run the ball, I'd really like to see it run in 22's hands there. Where like I said, Lucas Skank runs really hard. He just doesn't bring the weight necessarily that Ames brings to break one tackle or churn forward a little bit more. So, best drive of the night so far for the Nuggets. But now the defense has to turn the ball back over or hold Pelican here with 3 minutes to go.
It was a 13-play drive that stalls out on the turnover on downs as Pelican digs in deep and makes it a tough spot for the Nuggets, even on a 3rd down and short, then a 4th and short. They stop on both, only allowing 1 yard between the two. Penalty flag flying out here as the running back Trayvon Benson makes his way to the outside, but this one might be coming back.
Yeah, you're going to have 2 holding penalties here, I believe. I believe Pelican had one inside the tackle box, and then they had one on the far side of the field on the jet sweep motion as they were trying to get out ahead of the back.
So it will be a hold, and this one will come back here for Pelican. So wipe off that gain, which would have been close to 9 yards. Instead, this one will come back.
Yeah, and with holding being from the spot, you do have a slight decision to make there, and usually the officials will help make it for you. But the first hold that they threw the flag on was further back and a little bit more in the backfield, so that's more beneficial to Hawley.
So a 10-yard penalty, the 3rd for 30 yards for Pelican Rapids tonight. Shotgun formation on a 1st and 20. Back at their own 26. Guler, right side pass is going to be intercepted. No! Knocked down by Levi Lelm. Almost able to pull that one in as he was falling backwards. The collision with the ground popped that ball loose. But a great defensive effort by Levi Lelm and the cornerbacks in the backfield and safeties for the Nuggets.
Big play there came from Blake Bigger. He was able to win his one-on-one battle up front, and he had the pressure on Guler that forced him to put a little extra air under that ball that Lelm nearly came down with.
Guler 3 for 5 in the air tonight with 39 yards passing. Handoff goes straight up the middle. Kapenga. Jack Capenga on a 2nd down and 20 was able to gain 7 yards on that play. So still a ways to go on a 3rd down situation for Pelican.
Guler and his running backs do a great job of carrying that mesh point as long as they possibly can, which makes it harder on the defense. We had another solo tackle there by Jack Ames.
That was the 11th carry for 115 yards for Jack Capenga on that one. Pass into the middle is going to be caught by Hawley. Hawley is moving forward to the 49-yard line, and that is going to be a 1st down for Pelican Rapids, their 7th of the night.
Yeah, that time Ames came on a blitz, and it was picked up pretty well by the Vikings up front, and they were able to deliver a good pass over the middle to extend this drive.
Guler back to pass. This one aired out to the right side, and Lelm got spun around there. He was trying to get some good footing and get an eye on that ball. He was kind of licking his chops there, looking for that ball, thinking I'm going to have another opportunity. He was close. Incomplete pass, so as it goes away from both the defender and the receiver for Timmy Guler.
Yeah, Lelm was exactly where he needed to be if the ball was going to be on point, and that time the ball was a little errantly thrown as it was behind the receiver and towards the sideline. So a safe place for Guler to put it, but not the ball he was probably anticipating to let go.
2nd and 10 from the Pelican 49-yard line. Guler back to pass, 1:50 to play in the first half. Hard pass. This one is going to be deflected. Zach Liebach coming in there at the last second, and he was almost able to get an interception. They've had a few opportunities here and just unable to get a good grasp on that wet ball moving through the air.
Yeah, that's a really good job by the Viking O-line to give Guler time there as he had 5 receivers. And there was a lot of crossing routes going on and a lot of action out there. Great job by Zach Liebach to hang in there and then read that route and nearly come down with it. So now big 3rd down again here for Hawley.
Crowded backfield, and somebody was moving there. Or did we have a timeout before? I didn't think I saw it. Yeah, there was no flag that came out. It's 3rd and 10, timeout. 1:45 to play in the first half. Pelican Rapids with a 14-0 lead over Hawley on yourliveevent.com. Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard. Timeout for the Vikings. We'll take a quick break, too. We're back with more from Dale Scalarud Athletic Complex after this. Third and 10 out of the timeout. Pelican Rapids will try it again here. Their 7th play of this offensive series. Trying to punch one in again before halftime and make it extremely tough for the Hawley Nuggets to get back into this one as they trail 14-0 on their home field for homecoming 2023. Back to pass. Guler from the 40-yard line airs it out for his intended receiver. Over his head, incomplete.
Pretty good coverage there by Nelson from his linebacker position. Used his height there that if the ball would have been a little more on point, would have had a chance to knock it down. Stoa in his free safety position trying to range over there and cover as much as possible, and he left his free running receiver to come over as well. So big 4th down here. We'll see how aggressive Pelican wants to be, but it looks like Guler's heading to the sideline. So with only 99 seconds left to go in the first half, they'll try to play the field position game here and make Hawley go the distance if they want to find any momentum before the break.
Seeing the mist come down here again from the sky, too, so we're going to have the wet conditions, so probably a good decision by Pelican. They're going to take a timeout and chat about some things on a 4th down from their own 48-yard line. 1:39 to play in the first half. Pelican leads Hawley 14-0 on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard.
Hawley Public Schools teaches over 1,000 students in grades kindergarten through 12. They do this in facilities that are either new or recently remodeled. These facilities are not only for Hawley students, but for adults, too. Hawley Public Schools offers community education classes in subjects like yoga and painting, plus adult basic education for those who want their GED or who study English as a second language. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
Pelican is setting up to punt this one away. High punt there, as that one's going to be dropping around the 25-yard line. Lelm will take it, and he is corralled by the Pelican Rapids defense. Not letting him do anything on that one, but Hawley will have possession here late in the second quarter with 90 seconds to work with.
Yeah, not much room for Lelm to operate, but again, timing of any blocks that might happen up front there for Hawley get thrown off when that ball hits the ground. And so I think Levi's got to make a decision earlier whether he's going to come up and get that one aggressively or let it roll. He did save a few yards most likely with the pickup, but he also gained a little bit of punishment.
So as mentioned, 90 seconds remaining here in the first half. The Hawley 25 is where they'll have it, first down and 10. Halftime, stay tuned for that. Got homecoming coronation that will be happening on the field. We'll keep it here for that and let you check that out as we hand it off for Shower up to Stoa for the grab at the 45-yard line. Great play by the Hawley Nuggets here late in this first half.
I tell you what, Mark and Levi looked a lot alike to me, but that's a big throw on the money by Mark Shower as he came in on jet sweep action, which is usually Lelm's in his bag of tricks, and he reversed his pattern. A little pivot action there to drop the ball over the middle to Stoa with a sliding catch. So great little play call there that Pelican might have added to by gifting Hawley that timeout.
So 23-yard reception for Brevin Stoa on the pass by Mark Shower. So I'm going to get Hawley another first down, their fifth of the night. We'll just keep it right here on this first down and 10 that's going to be coming up for the Nuggets. But that was a nice momentum boost, getting them some opportunity here because they've had, like you say, had a long drive on the last offensive series of 13 yards that stalled out on a turnover on downs. They were moving the football a little bit better here, Nathan, and if you can get some big plays here late in this first half, give you some confidence moving in, especially when Pelican will have reception to start the second half.
Yeah, take care of the football here and try to get down in the end zone, but either way, build some positivity in what you're doing. See that O-line hopefully gel and make a few plays here that can carry into the second half.
It's definitely a well-executed play on that last one. Kind of caught Pelican Rapids off guard, as you could see. Nelson will get set with a snap, taking it left side. He'll air this one into the middle. Ball knocked away by Jack Kapenga and almost able to get the interception, but instead will be incomplete. That'll stop the clock here for the Nuggets so they can save on the timeouts if they need. They've got one timeout remaining in this first half.
Yeah, that time Nelson did a good job escaping the pocket a little bit there to throw on his run. He didn't get it. He wasn't going to have any time to get his hips flipped there, but a little bit of under coverage and over the top coverage on Stoa gave Benson an opportunity to haul that one in.
So it'll be a second down and 10 from their own 46-yard line. Nelson will get the snap in that shotgun formation again. Looking down the field, not a whole lot there. He's going to try and take it himself. He'll spin forward for a gain of 1, so a short gainer there for Noah Nelson.
I'll be honest, I'm not exactly sure what's taught, and I don't have the right angle on that one, but I'd like to see Noah stretch that one further to the wide side of the field to give him a chance and to give his receivers a chance to maybe make a play.
3rd and 9. Nelson will get the ball quick down the field. This one going for the intended receiver, Liebach. That was a dart going at him and kind of slipped there trying to dive for that ball. Incomplete is what it's going to be and make it a 4th down situation for the Nuggets.
Yeah, Noah's doing a better job moving his feet here, escaping some of the pressure that's coming from the Pelican defensive front. That time you just, mix of a wet ball and not being able to get your feet planted there, put that one a little too far ahead of Liebach. That was the right guy to look for in that situation. If that's on his numbers, it's a first down.
4th and 9 it is for the Nuggets from their own 49-yard line. 49 seconds to work with here in this first half, trailing 14-0.
And Hawley's currently talking about it. They're going to burn a timeout here and decide whether or not they're going for this one or they're going to play field position.
So that'll be an important spot here for the Nuggets. Timeout, Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard, 49 seconds remains. Second quarter, Pelican leads Hawley on yourliveevent.com, 14-0.
Temps are going to drop low, and you'll be turning the heat up high. Protect yourself from surprising heating bills by enrolling in Wild Rice Electric's off-peak heating program. You'll receive hundreds of dollars in rebates on new heating technologies like heat pumps and underfloor heat. Plus, you'll get nearly half off your electric heating rate through the winter months. That adds up fast when the snow starts to fall. Give Wild Rice Electric a call at 800-244-5709 to find out if the off-peak program is a good fit for your home and start saving today.
So less than a minute to play in the first half. Again, stay tuned at halftime. Homecoming coronation will be coming your way. We'll hand the mic off to Mr. Bo Lofgren. He'll be doing the announcing here for halftime to announce the candidates and also crown the king and queen here tonight, part of the homecoming festivities in 2023. And then following that, we'll come back and look at the stats in these first 2 quarters of play and get set for the second half here tonight at Dale Scholarwood Athletic Complex in Hawley.
So Hawley's going for it, and they got twins both sides.
Nelson will get set for the snap here on the shotgun formation. They go for the hard count. It didn't look like anybody moved there for the Nuggets. They're disciplined, and Pelican Rapids, the way they've been coming in, they've been storming through there, especially in that defensive line has done a good job of getting off the ball here tonight, and this time got a little too excited. It'll be their 4th penalty for 35 yards.
Yep, so now they got the positive gain on the penalty here. Gives them a little less that they need. This opens up the run. You got Ames as the single back with Nelson. We've seen them run for this one in short to-go situations.
4th and 3 it'll be into Pelican territory at the 46. Nelson barking it out again, takes a couple steps back, airing this one out deep down the field, trying for Stoa. Tries to one-hand it. It's going to be an incomplete pass. It's double coverage back there by Pelican Rapids, making it a living you-know-what for Brevin Stoa to try and get that reception.
Yeah, he wants him. He wants the little white hanky or yellow hanky to come out with the guys that were draped on his hip there. But again, just like we talked about, it's going to have to be more blatant. They did throw those. They did throw some of those pass interference penalties in when we had the crew in Barnesville, but again, they were the more clutch grab and tackle situations as opposed to anything that might be just around the waist or up around, get there just slightly early like we saw last week.
So from their own 46, Pelican will have it. No timeouts remaining here, and 42 seconds to work with. They've done some damage here in some big plays. Well, one big play, an 83-yard touchdown run by Jack Kapenga earlier in the second quarter that they scored. They'll pitch out to the right side now for Jack Paulson this time. Paulson will step out of bounds after a gain of about 7 yards as he gets into Hawley territory.
In the option play there, they had Guler covered there, I think, is Dane Hinkle. Then he stopped his feet and forgot that he does get to chase the ball carrier there after that one. So, again, it's not playing for solo tackles here and continuing to pursue the football when you have an opportunity out there.
So 2nd and 3 for Pelican Rapids. Guler back to pass. Still looking, he's got some time, and now he'll scoot with it into the middle. Finds a receiver that got open. Luke Scholey gets that. Scholey got it ripped loose, and the Nuggets able to come up with it. And it's Lucas Skink coming up with that ball, so a fumble on the play after the reception by Pelican Rapids. And the Nuggets will have an opportunity again. A lot of field to cover, but you still have the opportunity.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Stoa stripped it or if that was the second body that I couldn't see that came in there on that play. Either way, it popped out into Lucas Skank's waiting arms to turn a little bit of momentum here at the end of the first half for Hawley. Great job by Guler to keep the play alive, and when you have the ability to move like he does, it takes, you can let your receivers run around a little bit more.
So it was a 32-yard reception for Luke Scholey on that play. And then a fumble after that as the Nuggets were able to jump on that ball. It was Jack Ames with the carry here. He'll gain 6 yards as they'll hurry up and get to the line and try and get something going here. 6 seconds, Nelson back to pass. We got a penalty flag on the far side as trying to get a little too fast on the play will result in a penalty for the Nuggets. It'll be the second for 10 yards.
Yeah, I'm thinking with the situation of a long field to go here, rather than burn a timeout, it's practice a situation and work on a situation and try to get everybody set. You can go one way or the other, however you want to look at that there, but everybody does have to get set in that situation. I want to go back talking about solo tackles all night. That might have been one of the best solo tackles of the night for Kapenga there to bring down Jack Ames on that play. Pelican was defending against the pass, and he did a fantastic job there to shed his blocker and come down and take Ames down one-on-one.
So the first half will come to a close here on that note. 14-0 on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard. Pelican will take the lead into halftime against the Hawley Nuggets here tonight on yourliveevent.com. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Homecoming coronation will be coming your way next as we'll get those festivities on the way when we return for our halftime show on yourliveevent.com.
Christian Motors is proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer in Fertile. They've got a huge selection of new and used vehicles there on the lot. You can stop by and check the selection or go online to christianmotors.com or christiancarsonline.com. Your new vehicle is waiting for you at Christian Motors in Fertile. They are proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer. christianmotors.com, christiancarsonline.com. Stop and see the selection today. Christian Motors of Fertile.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Hi, I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Start by giving me a call at 701-893-5648. I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. 701-893-5648. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
To welcome you all to Homecoming Coronation 2023. The 2023 Homecoming Royalty was voted on by their peers with the following qualities in mind: Nugget pride, being well-rounded, school involvement, being kind, responsible, and respectful. This year's junior escorts representing the class of 2025 are Sophie Cook and Jack Ames. Sophie's parents are Matt and Sherry Cook. Sophie's favorite school activity is golf. Jack's parents are Brooke and Chuck Ames. His favorite school activity is football. And now, introducing the senior class royalty. The first queen candidate is Sierra Blakeway. Sierra's parents are Jeremy and Carrie Blakeway. Her favorite school activity is basketball. The first king candidate is Devon Stock. He is the son of Melissa Stock. He is involved in football and basketball. The next queen candidate is Julie Strom. Julie is the daughter of Andy and Suzanne Strom. Julie's favorite school activity is basketball. How am I doing? Okay. The second king candidate is Landon Bakke. Landon's parents are Rhonda and Wade Bakke. His favorite school activities are cross country and basketball. Our next queen candidate is Bridget Albright. Bridget is the daughter of Sadie and Will Albright. Her favorite school activity is dance. The third king candidate is Isaac Huseman. Isaac is the son of Jill and Mike Huseman. His favorite school activity is golf. Our fourth queen candidate is Emma Brookshire. Her parents are Barb and Jason Brookshire. Emma's favorite school activity is basketball. Our next king candidate is Caden Kopacek. Caden is the son of Kirsten and Kyle Kopacek. His favorite school activity is golf. Our final queen candidate is Leah Tibbetts. Leah is the daughter of TJ Tibbetts and Crystal. Her favorite school activities are volleyball and basketball. The final king candidate is Lucas Skank. Luke's parents are Jason and Molly Skank. His favorite activity at school is golf. Let's give a round of applause to our class of 2024 homecoming court. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the crowning of the 2023 homecoming king and queen. Sophie Cook, please crown the king. Congratulations to King Isaac Huseman. Now, Jack, please crown the queen, excuse me. Congratulations to Queen Leah Tibbetts. Congratulations to the 2023 homecoming king Isaac Huseman and Queen Leah Tibbetts. Homecoming is a time for looking back and celebrating experiences together as Nuggets. The homecoming court was asked to share some of their favorite elementary experiences, and here are their fondest memories. They include playing football, tag, capture the flag, and cops and robbers with friends at recess, even though Carson broke his collarbone one time while playing football. Another memory is playing Oregon Trail in 3rd grade. And one final memory was their 6th grade trip, especially when Mr. Peterson was forgotten at the state capitol. The Student Council wants to thank Coach Nats and Activities Director Brett Mayer-Schmidt for allowing coronation to happen at halftime tonight. Enjoy the second half of the game, everyone, and let's go Nuggets!
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Respectful, responsible, safe, and kind. Those are the values taught by Hawley Public Schools. Hawley's PBIS team, Positive Behavior, Interventions, and Supports, aims to encourage a positive and respectful learning environment and uphold the social and emotional well-being of all students and staff. Learn more about Hawley Public Schools at hawley.k12.mn.us. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
Halftime here, Pelican Rapids leading Hawley 14-0, and homecoming 2023. Again, congratulations to King Isaac Huseman and Queen Leah Tibbetts, crowned at halftime of the game here tonight. So, still enjoying their homecoming festivities on the field. The teams are in their huddles, getting set for the second half. As we take a look at the stats for the first 2 quarters of play between Hawley and Pelican Rapids, let's start with the Nuggets here tonight. Pelican has made it very, very tough for the Nuggets to move the football. They've got 21 carries for 37 yards total rushing tonight. Lucas Skank, 6 carries, 9 yards, 5 carries for 23 yards for Jack Ames, and 10 carries for 5 yards for Noah Nelson. As far as their passing goes, Noah Nelson, 3 of 13 in the air with 14 yards, and Mark Schauer, 1 for 1 with 23 yards. total as a team for passing. They're 4 for 14 with 37 yards passing. So 35 plays from scrimmage for 74 yards total offense in the first half. Brevin Stoa, 2 grabs for 17 yards receiving. Lucas Skanka a grab for 8 yards, and Jack Ames with one grab for 9 yards here tonight receiving. Pelican Rapids, they've definitely put a mark on the offensive side here tonight. They are led in rushing by Jack Kapenga, 11 carries, 115 yards. He's got both touchdowns for the Pelican Rapids Vikings tonight, including a 1-yard touchdown run and an 83-yard touchdown run here tonight, as they both scored in the second quarter. It was a 1-yard touchdown run by Jack with 11:55 to play second quarter. The extra point kick no good to make it 6-0 at that point, capping off a 9-play drive there. And then a very short drive with 8:09 to play in the second quarter. A 14-second drive, in fact. It was 1 play is all it took, and Jack was off to the races. An 83-yard touchdown run, the 2-point conversion for Trayvon Benson. The run was good to make it 14-0, our halftime score here this evening. Kapenga, as mentioned, the 11 carries, 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. Timmy Guler behind him, 6 carries, 55 yards tonight, and a carry for 7 yards for Jack Paulson. 18 carries, 177 yards on the ground. As far as passing, they have attempted 10 passes, completed 5 of those from Timmy Guler, and had 86 yards in the air tonight. So 28 plays from scrimmage, 263 yards of offense for Pelican Rapids in the first 2 quarters. Trayvon Benson, 1 grab for 9 yards. Luke Sholey with 2 grabs for 47 yards, and Miguel Torres, 2 grabs for 30 yards tonight in terms of receiving. Team totals, Nuggets 5 first downs compared to the 7 of Pelican Rapids. There was 2 penalties for 10 yards for Hawley, 4 for 35 for Pelican Rapids. Nuggets no turnovers, 1 fumble for Pelican Rapids in that first half of play. 14-0 in favor of Pelican Rapids over Hawley in homecoming 2023 here tonight at Dale Scalarood Athletic Complex, as halftime nearing the end, and we're getting set for the second half when we return on YourLiveEvent.com.
Co-op provides energy solutions. Farm fuels, lubricants, propane, and natural gas are all available to farms, homes, and businesses from Lakes Community Co-op. They enjoy working with their customers to meet your fuel and energy solutions. Call Lakes Community Co-op today, 1-888-935-2281 for farm fuel pricing, contract programs, farm lubricants, propane pricing, and delivery for farm, home, business, and natural gas service. Lakes Community Co-op, your co-op in your community.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Keep your job site stocked with reliable service from Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Our team specializes in everything concrete. That means hand tools and equipment, rebar of all shapes and sizes, concrete forming packages and ICFs, decorative concrete materials like color, stain, sealers, and coatings. And let's not forget our impressive fleet of winter construction equipment to keep the concrete flowing all year round. If you've got concrete questions, we've got concrete answers at Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Visit us today at any of our 6 locations.
R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is hiring a full-time play-by-play sports announcer and broadcast sales representative. Duties include selling advertising time for radio, digital, video streaming, and regional cable TV. Play-by-play responsibilities include live play-by-play of local sporting events for radio, video streaming, and regional cable TV broadcasts. Wage plus talent and commission pay structure with full-time benefits package offered. For more information or to apply, email apply@rjbroadcasting.com. That's apply@rjbroadcasting.com.
Halftime nearly wrapping up here tonight. 14-0 Pelican leads Hawley in Section 8 AA football. And a conference matchup as well in the Mid-Northwest, which is the Heart of Lakes North. Pelican comes into this game 4-1 on the year, as the Nuggets 2-3 on the year. Nuggets will be a long road trip next week. They'll have a 6 p.m. game next Friday, October 13th, when they head up to Warroad to take on the Warriors, and another section matchup As for Pelican Rapids, they will be at home next week when they will be hosting Roseau. That'll be a 6 o'clock game as well. So 2 6 o'clock kickoffs for both teams. Pelican hosting Roseau next week, and Hawley will be on the road up to Warroad. So they'll be able to high five on their way up to Warroad with Roseau as they come down to Pelican Rapids. Get the arms out of the bus. Are they going to meet up for supper together up in Thief River Falls or Red Lake Falls or somewhere up there?
Always enjoy that trip.
Nice short drive up to the Canadian border.
Dripping sarcasm.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you couldn't tell that, then you haven't been listening to us long enough.
That's correct.
For
you
the
need
last
to take
almost 20 years since you were up in the Uland.
Need to come to my language arts class and learn verbal irony.
Is that why they call it language arts? Is it because you're teaching it?
Well,
it's an art?
I know.
How to speak the language?
I'm just faking it.
Fake it till you make it. The rhyme that everybody likes when it comes to language arts.
I'm being called by my boss here.
Uh-oh. Boss is here? Oh, yes. Oh. Pelican Rapids will get set to receive here as the Nuggets will tee it up. As Nuggets receive to get the game going here, and so Pelican will get it to start out the second half. And back to kick will be Brock Hines, the freshman for the Nuggets. We are underway for quarter number 3 from Hawley tonight. This one booted to that left side, grabbed by Jack Kapenga at about the 15-yard line. He'll make his way down the sidelines, and he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. So that's where Pelican will have it, first down and 10.
I don't think he made the tackle there, but Carson Kopacek was first guy down there from his outside contained position to make contact.
So at their own 28, about a 13-yard reception on the kickoff for Mr. Jack Kapenga, who's had a very nice night for Pelican Rapids. Offensively, as mentioned, 11 carries, 115 yards and 2 touchdowns. So not a bad night. They go into that shotgun formation. Handoff. Guler will hand it off to Jack Kapenga, and he's going to be taken down near the line of scrimmage. He'll maybe gain 1. No, it's going to be right at the line is where they'll keep it, so no gain on the play.
I want to see how Hawley in the second half here, if we get more guys to the football, a little bit more pursuit, a little bit more gang tackle situations here instead of relying on everybody to do their job on their own.
Second down and 10 for the Vikings. Back to pass. Guler looking down the field. That's to scoot away from a couple of would-be tacklers into the arms of Blake Bigger, and he's going to be taken down a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage. So a good defensive stop there for the Nuggets, forcing Pelican Rapids into a tough spot. In fact, losing 2 yards on the play as the result.
The D-line did a good job collapsing the pocket. I got to see the near side of the field really well there as they were, with their route combinations over here, but Noah Nelson jumped one route and then ran to the flats, which really forced Guler up in the pocket.
Third down and 12. Guler to pass. More pressure put on. Ball is going to be, I think they got it knocked loose. Did he? Lucas Skank was able to fork that ball loose and getting some congratulations from his teammates and coaches. Some great praise there and a great defensive effort for Lucas Skank.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Sometimes you're going to give up the route. Sometimes the guy beats you, but you got to, as a corner, you got to play through the football. And that time, Lucas was beat on the sideline route, but he stayed with the tackle and he ripped down through the receiver's hands. He never had a chance to completely bring in the catch.
So 4th and 12, it was what it'll be for Pelican Rapids, and they will drop back to punt this one, slipping a little bit there, but able to get a grip, but not a very good punt that's going to bounce at the Pelican 40-yard line and go out of bounds. So the Nuggets will have some great field position to start out their first offensive series of the second half.
So the Whitecap back there was saying that ball was blocked, that Dane Hinkle there did get a fingertip on it. He gave the the block signal there, which is going to change some things for what can potentially happen on the rest of that punt coverage. So good pressure there by Hawley to get in and collapse that, and as the timing was thrown off by the mishandled snap.
So first down and 10 in Pelican Rapids territory for the Hawley Nuggets. Not able to get a score on the board. They had a couple of offensive series late in that first half where they were able to move the football, but just unable to convert thanks to the defense of Pelican Rapids stepping up when they needed to. Snap here, Nelson looking right side, gets the pass on the slant into the arms of Liebach. Nice job by Liebach diving to get that ball and passed just in the mark of where he needed to go. Nelson getting it away from the defense. Looked like a paw was going to be on it, but instead a completion for 11 yards.
Yep, ball on the money in the tight window that was there, but a great job by Liebach to get down low in there to be able to get that ball towards his chest and haul that in sliding.
So first down and 10 it will be. Deeper into Pelican territory at the 35-yard line. Handoff goes to Jack Ames, tripped up at the line of scrimmage and falling forward for a gain of 3 yards. So Jack Ames with his 6th carry for 26 yards tonight. He makes it a second down and 7.
That's the second time that Stetz has got him by the shoe, and if he doesn't get him there or Jack can come through that cleaner, he's going to be running for a little while into the safety level for sure. So well done by the down lineman there, Stetz, for Pelican, and good hard running from Jack Ames.
To the Pelican 32-yard line is where that ball is placed. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Skank in the backfield, they'll hand it off to him. Lucas Skank bounces to the outside. He's got the first down and more. That's going to be a 10-yard gain for Lucas Skank as he needed 7. A great run there for Lucas. He's got 7 carries for 19 yards.
Yep, stretch that off tackle on the far side of the field. Left side of the O-line gives him enough to work with. And as we talked about earlier, Lucas runs incredibly hard. That time he had some real estate to run with.
So to the Vikings 22-yard line, first down and 10. Nuggets moving the football like they need to here. Had good defensive stop to get things going, forcing a 3-and-out. Against Pelican Rapids, handoff, goes straight up the middle. Jack Ames, he's taking it beyond the 20 up to the 17 is where he's going to be taken down. That'll be a gain of 5 for Jack Ames.
Yeah, most of the linemen are downfield doing their job, staying on their blocks. Right now, there's no roller skates on the Nugget line. They're moving forward. Hard running by both running backs there. And the way that the defensive formation lined up is might look at that deep slant or to a post type route here for Liebach as that single coverage and the safeties are creeping up to help stop the run.
Into that shotgun again with 2 backs in the backfield. Skank to the right, Ames to the left. Nelson going to keep it himself. Straight up the middle, he's going to go against that defense. He gets to the 15-yard line. He's going to gain a couple of yards on that play. It'll make it a 3rd down and 3 now for the Nuggets. But again, they're moving the football. They're getting some good yards. They're confident in their ability, too. That's fun to see how they walk up there with confidence, and they're getting the job done up front.
Yeah, a little bit more juice here in the second half than we saw in the first half. A lot of excitement off the defensive stop and the sack that came with it now, and the fact that the O-linemen are firing off the football and moving the Pelican D-line back.
6th play of the drive for the Nuggets. 3rd down and 3 is what it is from the Pelican 15-yard line. Nelson back to pass, airs it out right side. Liebach deep in the end zone, gets the grab, and it is, was he out of bounds? No, touchdown! Touchdown for the Nuggets. Zach Liebach, great route down the right side on a seam play, and it's Nelson with the pass right on the mark at the end of the end zone.
Yep, that ball was going to be caught by Zach Liebach, or it was going to be caught by no one. Instead of going deep slant as I had suggested, and Pelican was leaning inside shade in their corner, it was a quick route for Liebach into the back of the end zone. Well-run route, well-placed football, and Zach did enough to get at least 1 foot in. Maybe he got both, but it doesn't matter in high school football. 1 is enough.
Nelson 5 for 15 for 40 yards and the touchdown now in the quarterback spot. That was the 2nd grab for 26 yards for Zach Liebach tonight. They'll try for the extra point kick. The snap is there, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard, the Nuggets strike with 7:35 to play 3rd quarter, and they're within 7 at 14-7. When we come back with more from Hawley right after this. Nuggets score on a 6-play drive, capped off by a 15-yard touchdown pass. Noah Nelson to Zach Liebach. 7:35 to play third quarter. The extra point kick was good. And the score you see on the screen, 14-7, is where we're at right now, as the boot by the Hawley Nuggets is going to bounce to the 15, roll back, and a smart decision by Pelican Rapids as they do not touch it. Let it go out of bounds and get them a lot better field position as the penalty flag comes out.
Yeah, that's going to be like you said, it's a smart decision by Pelican Rapids, and he played the role of the football and the slope of of the grade of the drainage over there, and let that one trickle out of bounds. But nothing wrong with that kickoff. I think Hawley was down there, good coverage. It's just that's the situation that happened there. Well played by the deep man for Pelican, and they're going to re-kick it.
Oh, they're going to have them re-kick, so it's going to be a. We'll re-kick this one. So we want you to boot this again and see if we can get some better field position and bring our special teams up here as they'll drop it back now to the 35-yard line. So it'll be the penalty is the third for 15 yards tonight.
So aggressive decision by Pelican. They gave up the touchdown now, and they want to give their return men something to do. And an opportunity here. I don't see Hawley playing any games or trying anything different here. They're just going to boot the ball deep, hopefully a little more centered now, as we have a more odd alignment with 3 deep return men for Pelican.
Yeah, Pelican, they got Jack and Jack back there, mixed with Miguel Torres, Jack Kapenga, and Jack Paulson. Here's the kick by Hines. This one's a squibber that's going to go to the 40-yard line, and it's covered up by Pelican Rapids, one of their front men, wearing number 80 there, Andon Roysum. So he just covers that ball up, and Pelican will have it at their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, in the long run, not a ton gain, not a ton lost here. Just one extra play on the old stat sheet.
Yep, exactly. So they'll have it at the just in front of the 40 is where that ball is going to be placed. First down and 10 for Pelican Rapids in their second offensive series of the second half. Went 3 and out in the first chance. Nuggets score on the 6-play drive to get on the board. And the handoff goes to Jack Kapenga as he's going to be wrapped up and falling forward a couple of yards. We'll give him 3 yards on that play. It'll make it a second down and 7.
Yeah, talk about gang tackling. Colin Larson on his ankles and 3 other guys there to help finish it off.
That was the 13th carry of the night for Jack Kapenga. Handoff goes to the right side. This is Jack Paulson this time. He's got a nice run there. He needed 7 yards to get a first. He got well beyond that into Hawley territory up to their 40-yard line. So that's going to be a great gain there for Pelican Rapids.
Well called play and well blocked play there, and then a missed tackle down the field had Hawley backing up.
A 17-yard gain for him. Second carry for 24 yards for Jack Paulson. This one is going to be, I think it's Guler that kept it himself.
Football might be loose here.
They do a lot of that where Guler will keep it right in the basket with Jack Kapenga.
Fumble and Nugget football.
Wow, Nuggets come up with it. Excellent job. It's kind of a dangerous situation. I'm sure they've run it plenty of times to execute well, which we've seen here tonight between Guler and Kapenga, but when they get a little bit too close, and especially with a wet ball, it makes it a tougher situation. When he's trying to pull it out of there and keep it himself, it can get forked loose, especially when you got that defense up there, and they've been very aggressive. So another fumble that's lost, second turnover for Pelican tonight.
Yeah, and live fire here, we're talking about 2 games and a half of one is with Guler coming back to live action, so that plays a little factor into it, but a lot of it's the conditions.
Pass up the field looking for Liebach. Gets the grab at the 30-yard line, the 20, 10, touchdown Nuggets! A 60-yard touchdown pass from Noah Nelson to Zach Liebach, his second receiving touchdown of the night.
You're going to throw double coverage over the other side of the field. That does not worry Hawley. That does not worry play caller Aaron Haugen or quarterback Noah Nelson. He feels like he's got 3 weapons on the outside that any one of them can beat single coverage, and they decided that the last 2 times they were going to single coverage Zach Liebach, and there's 2 tutties on the board.
A one-play drive. That was a 59-yard touchdown pass is what it's going to go down as here. As they'll try for the extra point kick. The snap is there. The kick is going to be a little low. He slipped up there on that play. Hines was trying to get set, and I think he lost his footing a little bit there and slid when he was kicking that ball. So the extra point kick, no good. And that will keep Pelican Rapids in front by 14-13 on the Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard with 6:33 to play third quarter. We're back with more from Hawley right after this.
Hawley Public Schools teaches over 1,000 students in grades kindergarten through 12. They do this in facilities that are either new or recently remodeled. These facilities are not only for Hawley students, but for adults too. Hawley Public Schools offers community education classes in subjects like yoga and painting, plus adult basic education for those who want their GED or who study English as a second language. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
So the extra point kick, no good. As mentioned, 14-13 Pelican. That was big there for the Vikings to not have that kick go through and tie this game. But another big play for the Nuggets, a one-play drive capped off by a 59-yard touchdown pass from Nelson to Liebach. High little popper there. That's going to be taken at about the 35-yard line. Falling forward is going to be Pelican Rapids special teamsman Esteban Garza.
So going back to the point after attempt, everybody up here is unsure if there was maybe a potential running into the kicker or if Hines just lost his footing as he approached the football. What really did throw that off, though, is that was probably our first time where we saw backup long snapping come into play where, it just didn't get back there with the same amount of, quickness and therefore throws off some timing.
First down and 10. Pelican will have it at their own 37-yard line. Guler gets him set, man into a wing position over on that right side. In motion was Kapenga. Back to pass, airing this one out, a dart right into the middle. That's going to be grabbed on the run. Ethan Eisenman gets the reception up to the 35-yard line.
Yep. Big play, great ball, thanks to great protection up there. Hawley did not have anybody going backwards on the Pelican line. That was great pass pro from the Vikings, and that's a lot of time for defensive backs to have to cover, and the Vikings just flipped the field quickly.
So a 28-yard reception there for the Vikings. Handoff goes to the right side, and Paulson trying to find some room. He's not going to find much. In fact, nothing. It's going to be no gain on the play.
Yeah, first guy up there, it looked like Dane Hinkle contained that and forced that up, and then it was a combination of Lelm and Jack Ames to finish off the play.
A reception on the last play by Ethan Eisenman, his first grab of the night, and that was a big one on that slant going into the middle. The second down and 11 it will be here for Pelican Rapids. They'll send a man in motion. This is going to be Guler keeping it himself right up the middle. And he's able to gain a few of those.
Yeah,
straight 2 yards there, about 4 yards.
Yeah, straight keeper, a little shoulder fake to to a receiving route, but that was going to be Timmy the entire way there. Jack Ames playing a little bit of a spy, just like last week against Noah Morris, was there to wrap him up after a moderate gain.
So third down and 7 now for Pelican Rapids. Guler airs this one out into the middle, right to the line, near the line for that first down. I think he's got enough.
We're going to have a holding penalty, bring it back, which is going to cost Pelican that first down, and it's going to give Hawley a little bit of new life.
That'll be the 5th penalty tonight for Pelican Rapids. Had 4 in the first half for 35 yards. Nuggets have 3 penalties for 15 yards tonight. So holding will drop them back. Yeah, like you say, it's a huge turnaround there, as they had an 8-yard gain on that reception, but instead will walk this one back.
But what that means is that the Nugget down linemen are starting to, fire off a little bit more. They didn't get in there on the big pass play, but if you're forcing a hold, that means you're doing your job, trying to put pressure and contain it and collapse a pocket around Guler.
So that'll make it a third down and 17 here for Pelican Rapids instead of a 1st and 10. 4:50 to play in the third quarter. Guler back to pass, airs this one out. Again, Eisenman trying to get it to it. Ball wrestled for in the backfield. Stoa and Eisenman, and that's going to be incomplete. Great defense again by the safeties and cornerbacks here for the Hawley Nuggets in that defensive backfield.
Yeah, Guler gave his receiver a chance, and at some point, one guy was on defense and the other was on offense, and it flipped there towards the end of the play as Eisenman was trying to wrestle that football away from an impending interception. That's the third almost or near interception for the Nuggets here today, all in big situations. Now can they put two plays in a row together?
Yeah, they've had some very close plays here that they just couldn't convert on. Guler going to pass. This one is going to be a reception right at the first down marker and probably a couple steps ahead of that. Yeah, 2 yards ahead of that. So they needed 16, and they got 18 on that play on a great pass into the hands of Miguel Torres.
Well, great ball deception, but once again, you can't do three fakes and a bootleg if you don't have confidence in your O-line.
Guler will take it himself here on the quarterback keep right up the middle, and he's going to be able to gain about 7, maybe even 8 yards on this play. So a 7-yard gain, it'll make it a 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, and there on the big play there was a near hold on the right side of the Pelican line. He released just in time as they were reaching for their flag, but it was well blocked.
Guler taking it right side as they go quick on their offense, trying to keep Hawley off balance here. Keep the movement rolling and see if they can get another score on the board. Nuggets have scored 13 unanswered now. Like the Pelican Rapids had scored 14 in that first half unanswered before the Nuggets put together some good offense, as there's going to be no gain on the play that time for quarterback Guler.
Solo tackle Levi Lelm getting down and taking away Guler's legs and his ability to run.
3rd and 3. Oh my goodness, this snap is way out of the mark, and diving after that is going to be Paulson on that play. Jack Paulson able to get it, but that was already back to the 37-yard line. So they had it at about the 15-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 22 yards on that play.
Brilliant play by Timmy Guler in that situation. It was a race to the football, and he had a teammate with a lead on it. He turned into a blocker and nearly a hold, but basically just went one-on-one with Jack Ames to prevent him from gaining any more space towards the football, as he was the one Nugget that really had a great shot at it. So preserve possessions and give your team a chance by some quick thinking and high IQ play from the quarterback.
A 20-yard loss. It'll be 4th and 23 here for Pelican Rapids. They want a timeout on this situation. 2:52 to play third quarter. Pelican Rapids hanging on to the lead, 14-13 on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard from Dale Scalaroot Athletic Complex in Hawley. We're back with more after this timeout.
It's going to drop low, and you'll be turning the heat up high. Protect yourself from surprising heating bills by enrolling in Wild Rice Electric's off-peak heating program. You'll receive hundreds of dollars in rebates on new heating technologies like heat pumps and underfloor heat. Plus, you'll get nearly half off your electric heating rate through the winter months. That adds up fast when the snow starts to fall. Give Wild Rice Electric a call at 800-244-5709 to find out if the off-peak program is a good fit for your home and start saving today.
So a 3rd and short that turns into a 4th and extremely long here for Pelican Rapids. They were getting it down the field all the way down to the Hawley 15-yard line. A snap that goes over the head of Guler. Jack Paulson able to jump on that ball, but not until it rolls all the way to the 37-yard line. That's where they've got it, 4th down and about 22. Guler going to right side. Yep, hook and ladder on the play. Nuggets seeing it, and they will wrap him up. Forced to stop, a turnover on downs.
Yep. That's the kind of play you're going to see in that situation, and when you call a timeout before it, the defense should be getting organized for any sort of trickery that could happen, whether it's a halfback pass or anything that you can pull out of your hat in that situation. The hook and ladder happens to be my favorite, so I like the fact that they went to it, but Hawley did a great job of staying home over on that side of the field between the linebacker, I believe it was Lelm, and Liebach at his corner position.
So turnover on downs, and Hawley will have it at their own 32-yard line is where they'll have that ball placed with 2:44 to play in the game. In the third quarter, Skank spinning around a couple of would-be tacklers and some extra effort, a lot of effort on that play to get them 13 yards on the first down.
I had to chuckle a little bit there because talk about the juice going up for the Nuggets right there. That was the most emotion I've seen on an athletic surface out of Lucas Skank. He was pumped up at that run. He made a great cutback and got into the secondary. Now Pelican has loosened up their safety coverage, but Liebach is still on the near side. Single covered while they put the little canopy up on Stoa on the other side of the field.
Shotgun formation, 2 receivers right, 1 left, handoff. Going up the middle, still going. It's going to be Lucas Skink with another nice gainer there. He goes from a 13-yarder to an 8-yarder, so 21 yards on 2 plays that he's had here tonight, and he's up to 9 carries, 40 yards total offensively.
He created his crease with the cutback on the first play. This time the right side of his O-line created that running lane for him.
I got a feeling Coach Peter Natz and the coaching staff are loving to see this type of emotion coming from these kids. Seeing the energy level, that's what they've been waiting for, especially later in games when they've needed it, even when they're down 14 points at halftime. There's been times where they've just kind of folded a little bit, and it's shown on the scoreboard at the end, but they did not give up. They bounced back well in the second half and have done what they needed to do. Came out with a lot of energy as they've got a penalty situation here. It'll be the 4th for 20 yards.
I think they went under center to go hard count, give Pelican a different look, see if they could get him to jump, and instead running backs got a head start on that one.
And you can see Jack Ames kind of fell forward there, and it was almost like he wanted to continue in motion, but he just had the hesitation on it, so the official calls it. 2nd down and 7. Handoff goes to Ames straight up the middle. He'll barrel his way forward against the defense as he was wrapped up quick by Jarrett Stetz on that one, but he's still able to make his way forward for a gain of 3, make it 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, so I wonder if they didn't just play repeat. Maybe that one was a hard count that was going to be followed by that fullback dive here, but liked what they had and wanted to see how Pelican decided to defend Nelson going under center. So now we bring up a big 3rd and 5. I don't know if this is 4-down territory for Hawley, which puts a little extra pressure on this play.
Nelson will get him set. Shotgun formation again. 2 receivers left, 1 off to the right side. Back to pass. Nelson fakes, bringing it left side. He's got the pressure put on. He's going to be taken down in the backfield behind the original line of scrimmage as well. He's going to lose 6 yards on that play, make it a 4th and 11.
So now you're going to bring yourself a guaranteed punting situation here, but probably let it roll into the 4th quarter as we're ticking under the 10-second mark. Both receivers on the far side of the field went double moves. There was a stutter step, it appeared to me, for sure on the far receiver on that side, and Nelson just never had time with the conditions and the lack of time there to flip his hips to deliver the football.
3 complete on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard. Pelican hanging on to the lead, 14-13 over Hawley on their homecoming 2023 tonight on yourliveevent.com. 4th quarter is coming your way next.
Is proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer in Fertile. They've got a huge selection of new and used vehicles there on the lot. You can stop by and check the selection or go online to christianmotors.com or christiancarsonline.com. Your new vehicle is waiting for you at Christian Motors in Fertile. They are proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer. christianmotors.com, christiancarsonline.com. Stop and see the selection today. Christian Motors of Fertile.
4th quarter is underway as the Hawley Nuggets facing a 4th and 11 out of that quarter timeout, and they'll be set to punt this one away. That's Carson Kopacek, for the Nuggets. They'll get set back there, and back to receive is going to be Luke Scholey. Or Ethan Eisenman, That one's going to bounce at about the 35-yard line, and that's where it'll stop and be down by Liebach for the Nuggets.
Yeah, good job by Hawley up front. Solid enough snap that got back there, and because Pelican caved, they really only left 2 guys not coming hard at the punter there and went for the punt block. So good job holding up by Hawley, and now they've got to get the football out of Guler's hands.
So the 1-point lead here for Pelican Rapids, back and forth. It's been all but Pelican Rapids. They scored the 2 touchdowns in the first half, both in the second quarter, and then the Nuggets scoring a couple of touchdowns, missed on an extra point attempt that cost them the tie ball game here. As the screen pass to the right side for Paulson, he was not going to be able to find any room there. He's gaining maybe a yard or 2 on that play. It'll make it a 2nd down and 8.
Some of those plays, though, it's a minor gain, a yard and a half, maybe 2. But Hawley sniffed it out, just didn't make the tackle where they had an opportunity to throw to make it a TFL tackle for loss that time. So those are plays that they need to make.
So 2nd down and 8 as the pass left side is going to be a reception. But the defense there right away again. And that was a nice job by Jack Ames, Lucas Skank, both in that area. That's going to be a gain of about 4 on the play. It'll make it a 3rd down and 5.
So that was a bigger play than it appears by Lucas Skank. The Nuggets defense was not shifted properly amongst the defensive backs, and they were scrambling late. So that Lucas came off of his receiver, only 2 guys to defend 3 to make that solo tackle.
So 3rd and 5 as the handoff. Nope, Guler's going to take it himself, and he is not going to gain much. Jack Ames there to take him down with another nice tackle. Eyeing it up, watching him his every move, whichever way he goes. Jack Ames has had his eye on him, and he only allows 1 yard on that play. It'll make it a 4th down and 4.
Guler's coming off the field, so it looks like the Vikings will punt. But the big thing there is you got, back in the old HOL days, we'd be talking about those are 2 of the best players going head-to-head that the conference has. But Jack did not buy the jet fake. He stayed home to do his job on Guler and was able to make the play.
So Pelican Rapids will punt this one away. High booming kick to the 30-yard line. It's going to be grabbed by Lelm. He's wrapped up right away. Spins a little bit, and he's able to gain maybe 2 yards to get it to the 32-yard line is where that ball will be placed. 1st down and 10 for the Nuggets.
See what last time they came out and they went and looked to establish the run without the penalty. They were successful with it. They can come back, look at whichever receiver might be getting single coverage. It's been Liebach for the last 2 big touchdown plays, and Pelican left him single covered the last time that he was the solo man on his side of the formation.
Shotgun formation with receivers off to each side. 2 backs in the backfield accompanying Noah Nelson as the quarterback. Snap is there. Handoff goes Jack Ames straight up the middle with a barreling run there right over the defense. Tuck and roll there after a gain of 7 yards for Jack Ames.
That we can count on one hand how many times our running backs in these big games this year, these 50-50 type games, are games they got to pull an upset, gets to linebacker or safety level untouched, and that was absolutely one of them. The right side of the O-line, it's Downer over there. At the tackle spot, it's Colin Larson at guard. They blew open that hole for Ames.
9 carries, 41 yards for Jack Ames tonight on the offensive side for the Nuggets as Nelson receives the snap, fakes the pass, airs it out. Oh, Stoa, and there's some big contact on this play, and there's the penalty flag coming out. He just had to find it in the pocket there and toss it out at the end, so it looked late, but he was just trying to get it out of there. And, yeah, Brevin Stoa down this sideline, and he was just a big old collision by the defense, Ethan Eisenman, who was trying to get the coverage, but he just collided right with him in mid-motion down in his route, and that'll make it a 1st down.
I think it's the right decision to make, but I think number 1 got his feet set outside the charge circle right there and took a little bit of contact and embellished it a little bit, but that's what you got to do sometimes when you're not going to win that one-on-one battle right away.
Doesn't his dad teach him that?
Well, we'll blame his grandpa, but yeah, probably.
All right, we won't tell anybody who his dad is, so. 1st down and 10 at the 40-yard line. Shotgun formation again here for the Nuggets with great opportunities as they've been moving the football second half. Handoff goes Jack Ames, but we've got a penalty on the near sideline. And it looks like a procedure penalty going against the Nuggets. It'll be their 5th penalty for 25 yards tonight.
I think we had a couple guys leaning, but I think the guy that might have gone and gotten that 15 yards on the pass interference came and leaned a little bit too early as well, but I think there might have been multiple Nuggets there, so it's a little bit of timing issue. And excitement issues there that they have to work out.
I was gonna say they've been. You can definitely tell they're a lot more excited here in this second half and getting things going on both sides of the ball. It's been fun to watch here in this second half. 1st and 15 after the penalty against the Nuggets. Handoff goes to Jack Ames. He'll lower the shoulder and barrel through the defense, but not enough to get to that original line of scrimmage. You got 4 yards to make it a second down and 11.
Yep. Keep the defense honest, run it well here, see if Pelican responds to the fact that Hawley's been able to get some good things going on the ground in spurts here in the second half, and that also can open up any sort of play-action situation that you have to fake one of those shotgun gives and see what kind of read Noah can make.
Noah eyeing it up there at the shotgun position, waiting for the snap here from Alex Paulson, his center. Handoff goes straight up the middle. Lucas Skank, another nice gainer there as he'll gain about 4 yards, but still a long ways to go for the Nuggets. They've got a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
Yep, fake the jet sweep pass that Hawley has used sporadically here this year, and then was able to make the read to give it to Lucas there to carve out a few yards. Right now in your 3rd and long situations, 4th and long situations, I think Noah's right now just playing a game of who's going to have single coverage on the outside.
3rd and 9, 2 receivers off right, 1 to the left side. They got the wing off that end 2 with Jack Ames. And Skank in the backfield with Nelson. He'll hand it off. Skank, he's going to be wrapped up on the play. And he'll be dropped right at the line of scrimmage. That'll make it a 4th down and 9, no gain.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if that was a read from Nelson or what, but I think he had the DN collapse. I'd have to see it back on replay. Ben, you work on that? Nope, no replay. All right.
Trying to rewind it.
But I thought he had him collapsed in there pretty well, that he might have been able to pull that one and gain some positive yards out to the left side of the formation.
Nuggets are trying a 4th down conversion here, as they've got, they're going to take a timeout, talk about some things. 7:03 to play in the game. They trail 14-13 to Pelican Rapids on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard. From Dale Scholarwood Athletic Complex in Hawley, we're back with more on YourLiveEvent.com right after this.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Hi, I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Start by giving me a call at 701-893-5648. I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. 701-893-5648. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Nuggets come out of the timeout here on this 4th down situation, 4th and 9. It's at the Pelican Rapids 44-yard line. Thanks for tuning in wherever you might be tonight for our coverage on YourLiveEvent.com. Made possible by the sponsors you see scrolling across the screen throughout the game, during our commercial breaks, and also you hear in the post-game show too with some sponsorships. They are the ones that make it possible to bring you YourLiveEvent.com
Hawley's
to these
decided
games.
to trust the defense here.
So the punting situation, bobbling it here, it's going to be off the side of the foot. Will bounce at the 40, and then it will take a Nugget bounce.
They're going to call running or roughing the punter there as they came through Kopacek as he was scrambling to get the the punt off. Now the question is, nothing should happen to hurt the Nuggets on the bobble of the snap, but it may give them the refs enough sympathy to make it just running into.
So running into the kicker here, going against Pelican Rapids.
This puts you in 4th down and goal, go territory here, as you now are talking 4th and 4 as opposed to, 4th and would have been 4th and 9 then.
Yeah. So a 5-yard penalty. So gets them closer to the 1st down marker if they're going to try and go for it, which it looks like they're going to be doing right here. So instead of the punting situation, which they're able to get the punt off, even though he got run into on that play. Now they'll have the opportunity on the offensive side to see if they can get a new set of downs, trailing by 1 with just over 7 minutes to play in this one. Nelson will hand it off. Nope, faking that one. Rolling to the left side, gets away from 1. He'll take it himself. He's got the 1st down. Nuggets needed 4. They got 5 on the play, and they keep the drive alive.
Big run there. I didn't see the crease. I like when the receivers go, when the quarterback bounces that out, but Noah's got better vision of what's in front of him, and he used that 6'5" frame and fantastic athleticism to find himself to a first down. Had Hawley not gotten that, it would have been incomplete or anything like that. We would have been talking about a 5-yard difference based off of where the punt was versus going for that. So, I mean, that's a big play for the Nuggets.
10th first down of the night for the Nuggets, and that one a big one right there, probably the biggest play so far for the Hawley Nuggets. First down and 10 at the Pelican Rapids 34-yard line. Handoff goes Skank right up the middle, and he's going to scoot forward for a gain of a few and make it a 2nd down and 7.
And right now, some of these runs right now, especially on first down, are simply, keep the defense honest type plays here. Show that you're still willing to run the football. You're doing it well in chunks at times, and other times you're carving a few yards out, but keeps the defense honest, doesn't let the linemen pin their ears back and take off towards Nelson. It keeps some of the blitz packages limited as well from Pelican.
2nd and 8. They'll call it a 2-yard gain on that last play. Receivers 2 off to the right, 1 to the left. Bobble on the snap there. Nelson just did a good job of just picking that ball back up because he had 2 guys in pursuit trying to scoop it out of his hands. In there was Mark Kapenga and also Luke Sholey on that play. So instead of losing the ball on a fumble, going to make it a 3rd down and 11 for the Nuggets.
So minimize the damage there, as we hadn't seen one of those come back to bite us in a couple quarters. Now, Stoy ended up double covered on the near side of the field, and it looks like he still will be. That means they can't double cover both Lelm and Liebach on the other side of the field.
3rd and 11 for Hawley. 5:10 to play in the game. Faking the pass, and now he's going to be wrapped up in the backfield. That's Sholey coming up with the tackle and a big defensive stop for Pelican Rapids at the 40-yard line.
That's a really smart play by Sholey. That's high IQ. He had no care whatsoever about the fact that there was a play fake. What's a play fake going to do necessarily on 3rd and 11? Trust your teammates and trust your D-line and your linebackers there. So he just came right by, didn't stutter, didn't anything, came right from the blind side to wrap up in the sack. The sack.
After a big first down situation, unable to convert, getting the ball down the field. Now the Nuggets will punt this one away. That is a nice punt there. That's going to bounce at the 15. Take a little bit of a Nugget bounce there momentarily. And it'll be down at the 15-yard line is where that ball will be placed. 1st down and 10 for Pelican Rapids.
Yep, so the fumble hurts, the sack hurts, so shoot yourself in the foot a little bit, and Pelican earns the sack on a good, solid play there by Sholey. So now you're trusting your defense, who's pitched a pretty good game here in the second half, holding Pelican down. Can they do it one more time to give the offense a shot?
I was going to say that second half has really come through strong. They've come out with a lot of aggressive defensive stops. They've come in with good opportunities on the offensive side here, too, and showing the 2 scores that they've got, trailing 14-13 as the handoff goes. This is Jack Kapenga. Had a nice little opening there for a moment to give him plenty of light to get him that first down, and he got a couple yards beyond that, an 18-yard gain, a 13-yard gain for the first down.
Nope, Pelicans keeping things up tempo here. Nuggets get a chance to sub as they move a linebacker and a D lineman around.
Guler pitch out to the right side. Again, Kapenga is going to be the one with the carry, and he's going to have another nice gain of 5 yards. His knee went down before he slid out of bounds on that one, so it'll keep the clock running.
Yep, high IQ play there to keep the clock running as you run out of real estate on the sideline as you protect a lead.
So that 5-yard gain, 15 carries, 136 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Jack Kapenga on the Pelican Rapids side tonight, as they collected another first down earlier on in this offensive series for their 10th of the night. 2nd and 5 they're working with right now, just trying to let the clock burn down a little bit. As the handoff, nope, Guler's going to keep it himself. Tries to find a little bit more room, and he's pushing his way forward, giving as much effort as he could with the guy wrapped around his leg and around his shoulders, and he had plenty, or just enough, I should say, for that first down, a 5-yard gain right there.
Yeah, and Pelican really, I'm not sure the option is what they need to do with the condition situation right here, but right now they're just in a situation that don't get cute. Don't try to outcoach yourself. Don't get cute. Don't try to do too much. You're running the football well. Keep it on the ground and force Hawley to make it to stop you 3 straight times from your strength or with your strength.
12th carry for 70 yards that was for Timmy Guler. 2:40 to play and counting here as the handoff goes. This is Jack Capenga straight up the middle again. That power running game is what they want to just keep it with and just hold on to that football. You don't let go. They've fumbled a couple of times that have resulted in turnovers tonight. That was a 5-yard gain once again for Jack Capenga. So 2nd and 5 for Pelican Rapids from their own 43-yard line, but in their eyes, they're burning time off the clock. They keep pushing Hawley back a little bit and keep trying to move the chains, keep this offensive series going with that 14-13 lead.
Yeah, a big stop right here to keep them in 3rd down is the time for Hawley to get into the timeout game here.
Snap here, they'll pass left side. This is going to be Trayvon Benson. Benson is going to be close to the first down. I think he went out of bounds is why the clock is going to stop.
Hawley called the timeout as it's going to be 3rd and 1 here, so it should be Guler Kaminga time for the Pelican Rapids Vikings, and Hawley's got to do their job on the interior line.
So the completion makes it a 3rd down and 1. 1:49 to play in the game. Pelican Rapids with a 14-13 lead on Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard. Back with more from Hawley right after this.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place
3rd down and 1 out of the timeout. Pelican Rapids will try and make a conversion here. Shotgun formation stacked in the backfield with 3 backs. They're trying to get a hard count, see if they can get Hawley to jump off sides, and to no avail on their side. So they'll take a timeout. 14-13. Pelican leads Hawley. Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard, 1:49 to play in the game in this Section 8 AA football matchup from Hawley tonight.
to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends, and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
So a 3rd down and 1 again. We're going to try for as Pelican Rapids just tried the hard count on the previous attempt to see if they can get the Nuggets to jump off sides and give them a free chain exchange to move them forward. Shotgun again, handoff. Guler straight up the middle. He's going to give it to Capenga, and he's going to easily have that first down. He needed 1. He, in fact, got 10 yards on the play for the first down.
Yeah, and that's one of those, too, where you're in the situation you're in, short on timeout, short on time. You get those extra 3-4 yards at the end because the defensive backs and the linebackers are going for the football as well. You're trying to hold the offensive player up a little bit longer and come in and strip that football.
So 1st down and 10 from the Nuggets' 44-yard line this is. Pelican will just take their time right up to that line. Main thing is burn as much time off of that clock and hold on to that football. Just keep that ball inbounds.
Well, now we're getting a fresh football coming in from the sidelines here. Not sure if that's needed or if it's gamesmanship or what they thought they might do there.
That old pigskin was a little too muddy, so I'll bring out the dry one from the sideline. Handoff. Do we have a timeout, or do we have a penalty flag, or what's going on? Dead ball regardless. We'll see what's going on here. I don't know if there's a question on when they made that switch on the ball or what the official is chatting with here on the Hawley sidelines. He's back there. Both teams are getting up to the line. They're ready to go. They want to play. So they want it to be, they wanted to add some time here on the clock. So up to 1:25 under the game clock. So we adjust that. 14-13 Pelican with the 1-point lead. Officials getting set, making sure everybody's ready to go, and both teams again, they're just right up to the line. They want to snap this football. And just a lot of confusion out on the field.
Well, they wanted to go 6 on the play clock as well.
Okay, handoff goes straight up the middle, and nothing doing for Pelican Rapids. And we've got a quick timeout for the Hawley Nuggets as they make that stop. As Kapenga was not able to gain, I was able to gain 1 yard on the play. So it will be a 2nd down and 9 for Pelican Rapids after the quick timeout that's taken. Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard, 1:19 to play in the game, 14-13. Pelican Rapids hanging onto the lead over the Hawley Nuggets.
Responsible, safe, and kind. Those are the values taught by Hawley Public Schools. Hawley's PBIS team, Positive Behavior, Interventions, and Supports, aims to encourage a positive and respectful learning environment and uphold the social and emotional well-being of all students and staff. Learn more about Hawley Public Schools at hawley.k12.mn.us. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
2nd and 9 for Pelican Rapids out of that timeout. That was the final timeout taken by the Hawley Nuggets here. So they need to make the stops, and they need to make them quick as the handoff goes. No, Guler's going to keep it himself behind his blockers as he's going to make it close to that 1st down. It'll probably be a couple yards short, so a 7-yard gainer for Timmy Guler.
Yep, and they're not going to need to snap the football here till we get into the 30-second 30-second window here. So we'll see how Pelican chooses to run this down. If they decide to run it as far as they can and take a timeout to stretch it out a little more, but they're going to go tight victory formation here because Hawley cannot stop the clock.
So yeah, they'll wait till it gets under the 40 mark is all they'd have to do. And they'll be able to snap this and take a knee. And then they won't have to snap it at all. That'll do it. So Guler will take the knee and make it the final play of the game is what that's going to end up. So the Nuggets are going to come up 1 point short on their homecoming game here tonight from Hawley. 14-13 is going to be the final score on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard here this evening. So right there with them throughout this game. Gave up 14 in the first half, all in the second quarter, and then able to score 13 of their own. Missed on that extra point attempt on some slippery conditions here tonight on that second touchdown, and that will end up as our final score. Pelican will come away with the victory, 14-13 over Hawley here this evening. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Our post-game report coming up. We'll look at the stats. We'll name our stars of the game. Chat with Peter Natz, head coach of the Nuggets. All part of our post-game report on yourliveevent.com right after this.
Co-op provides energy solutions. Farm fuels, lubricants, propane, and natural gas are all available to farms, homes, and businesses from Lakes Community Co-op. They enjoy working with their customers to meet your fuel and energy solutions. Call Lakes Community Co-op today, 1-888-935-2281 for farm fuel pricing, contract programs, farm lubricants, propane pricing, and delivery for farm, home, business, and natural gas service. Lakes Community Co-op, your co-op in your community.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Keep your job site stocked with reliable service from Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Our team specializes in everything concrete. That means hand tools and equipment, rebar of all shapes and sizes, concrete forming packages and ICFs, decorative concrete materials like color, stain, sealers, and coatings. And let's not forget our impressive fleet of winter construction equipment to keep the concrete flowing all year round. If you've got concrete questions, we've got concrete answers at Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Visit us today at any of our 6 locations.
R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is hiring a full-time play-by-play sports announcer and broadcast sales representative. Duties include selling advertising time for radio, digital, video streaming, and regional cable TV. Play-by-play responsibilities include live play-by-play of local sporting events for radio, video streaming, and regional cable TV broadcasts. Wage plus talent and commission pay structure with full-time benefits package offered. For more information or to apply, email apply@rjbroadcasting.com. That's apply@rjbroadcasting.com.
Back here in our post-game show, the Hawley Nuggets coming up just a little bit short against Pelican Rapids this evening, 14-13, the final score, and an entertaining one tonight in homecoming 2023. Never fun to lose on your homecoming game or any game for that matter, but just it's another heartbreaker for the Nuggets here as Nathan Stoa joining me here throughout the broadcast. And let's get your thoughts on overall play tonight and just how things went. It was a hard-fought game by both teams tonight.
Hawley Nuggets just went toe-to-toe with the second-best team in the section and lost by a missed PAT with some bad conditions. I mean, that's really what happened. It was tale of two halves. We can bring Charles Dickens into this all we want, but really, that was the most animated post-game I've seen out of Coach Nance in a long time, and I got to think the message was, this is who you can be. This is who we can be. To me, the same thing happened in a loss last year down at West Central. In one of the 15 cities that makes up West Central. I can't remember where we were. But it was that belief and that acknowledgement that if we play with this energy, if we communicate with each other, when we fly around and do our job, but then move on to the next one when it's available, this is how good we can be. Now, I know what last year's record was, but I also know how weird some of those bounces were and how close they were to beating some teams that went a long ways in the playoffs. And I think that's got to be close to the feeling that came out of here is this is the team we can be when we play with energy, when we play with juice, when we play with passion for the guy next to us. And that's what the difference to me in the second half was. Sure, it's going to be a couple big plays. We didn't run the ball super effectively or anything like that. It was 2 big plays to Liebach, but why is he single covered? Well, he's single covered because there's weapons on the outside, on the other side. Jack Ames is running the ball hard. Lucas is running the ball hard. They started to get some, creases in there for the running backs, and so now pick your poison. Now it comes down to reading defenses and pick your poison. But even more impressively was shutting Pelican out in the second half. I mean, those are big things and big plays to build off of. And there's a lot of things that get forgotten when you make playoff runs. That doesn't matter what the sport is. There's a lot of losses and a lot of things that get forgotten in the process when you start to play your best football, best basketball, best baseball, whatever it is in the playoffs. And that's what Hawley's working towards right now.
Yeah, it was a heck of a ball game here and a good crowd despite the bad conditions with what we had here with the cold weather and the rain coming down here off and on throughout the night. So just fun to see how these guys are coming together and how, I'm guessing, they've done such a good job of really finding themselves throughout this season, and I think they're starting to see more and more of that as we get closer to playoff time, because I'm only 2 more games left on the schedule in less than 2 weeks, because they'll have the MEA game on the Wednesday night. So a week and a half from now, regular season is going to be complete.
Yeah, stuff disappears in a hurry. Time moves quickly, and we don't have a chance to get in and stop it or anything like that. So, yeah, 2 regular season games left on the docket, and they're the short turnaround game with MEA. But, yeah, we get into October, and time in our season starts to disappear quickly. So you got decisions to make as to, how good you're going to be and when you're going to get there. But I saw a lot of positives in the second half here from Hawley. Now the question is, can you put 4 quarters together and give a complete effort against anybody? It doesn't matter what their record is, but a complete effort together against the best teams in the section, teams that are struggling wins and losses wise, but to find yourself and hold yourself accountable to play good football from the opening kickoff until the buzzer. And I really believe this team wins last week. The team we saw in the second half here gets a win last week, and they didn't play bad last week, but I just saw something different in the second half.
14-13 final score. Pelican over Hawley here in football action. Nathan Stoa, as always, appreciate the time, and we'll connect one more time here in our home game matchups on the Wednesday of MEA.
Absolutely, and I got to say it as many times as I can when we're on your live event and R&J and anywhere else in the area. But there's a list of sponsors that come through to make these things happen. So get out and support them and what they do in their businesses, and at the very least, say thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Nathan Stoa joining us for the broadcast again as color commentary, and we'll continue on in our post-game report, name some stars. We'll go through the stats, chat with Peter Nats, head coach of the Nuggets, as well, to wrap things up here tonight. We'll be back with more on our post-game right after this.
Hawley Public Schools teaches over 1,000 students in grades kindergarten through 12. They do this in facilities that are either new or recently remodeled. These facilities are not only for Hawley students, but for adults, too. Hawley Public Schools offers community education classes in subjects like yoga and painting, plus adult basic education for those who want their GED or who study English as a second language. Hawley Public Schools, preparing students for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
Soon enough, temps are going to drop low, and you'll be turning the heat up high. Protect yourself from surprising heating bills by enrolling in Wild Rice Electric's off-peak heating program. You'll receive hundreds of dollars in rebates on new heating technologies like heat pumps and underfloor heat. Plus, you'll get nearly half off your electric heating rate through the winter months. That adds up fast when the snow starts to fall. Give Wild Rice Electric a call at 800-244-5709 to find out if the off-peak program is a good fit for your home and start saving today.
Welcome back to our post-game report here tonight. In homecoming 2023 for the Hawley Nuggets, they fall by 1 point, 14-13, the final score. You heard here on yourliveevent.com. Let's name some stars of the game here tonight. We've got a couple of sponsors that provide stars of the game. One of those is the Enbridge Energy player of the game that we provide for you here in the post-game report. Enbridge Energy. Life takes energy. Enbridge Energy for life. Log on to enbridge.com for career opportunities that they have available as they bring us our energy player of the game here tonight. And one player that I thought brought some great energy, did an excellent job on that offensive side, had the 2 touchdowns for the Hawley Nuggets here tonight, had 3 grabs for 85 yards, including a 15-yard touchdown pass reception and a 59-yard touchdown pass reception. But just his energy level in that second half, much like the entire team of the Hawley Nuggets, but him in particular, came up with some really good grabs against some stifling defense that Pelican Rapids had throughout the entire night, especially in that defensive backfield. But Zach Liebach had to do a heck of a job to try and get away from these guys, and he did that a couple of times to get the scores on the board for the Hawley Nuggets to get them back into this ball game. So Zach Liebach is our Enbridge Energy player of the game in their loss to Pelican Rapids tonight, 14-13. Also part of our post-game report, RDK Enterprises, Precision Player of the Game. RDK Enterprises, Hillsborough and Drayton for precision planting updates, information, and questions. Contact RDK Enterprises, Hillsborough and Drayton, 701-636-2119, or visit planterdoc.com. RDK Enterprises, here to help you, the area farmer. Coming from the Pelican Rapids Vikings tonight, boy, he had a very, very good game. He had 18 carries to lead the way in terms of their rushing tonight. We'll go through all of the individual and team stats here in a little bit on our post-game report, but Jack Kapenga on their side had their 2 touchdowns, including a 1-yard touchdown run. That was a longer sustained drive that they had in that second quarter, end of the first quarter, into the second quarter, and then a 1-play drive. It was an 83-yard touchdown run midway through that second quarter of play for Jack. He had 18 carries, 152 yards tonight, and those 2 touchdowns for Pelican Rapids. He is our RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game in the victory for Pelican Rapids, 14-13 here tonight. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more. Some post-game coaches' comments coming your way from Peter Nats, head coach of the Hawley Nuggets. We'll get his thoughts on this one tonight and go through the stats and wrap it up from Dale Scholarwood Athletic Complex after this on yourliveevent.com.
Proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer in Fertile. They've got a huge selection of new and used vehicles there on the lot. You can stop by and check the selection or go online to christianmotors.com or christiancarsonline.com. Your new vehicle is waiting for you at Christian Motors in Fertile. They are proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer. christianmotors.com, christiancarsonline.com. Stop and see the selection today. Christian Motors of Fertile.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Hi, I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future. Start by giving me a call at 701-893-5648. I'm Tony Dalen, an Edward Jones financial advisor. 701-893-5648. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Back here in our post-game report, a victory for Pelican Rapids, 14-13 on the road in Hawley here tonight. Let's get into our post-game coaches' comments. Peter Natz, head coach of the Hawley Nuggets, joining us after a tough loss against Pelican Rapids, trailed 14-0 at halftime and scored a couple unanswered touchdowns in that second half and shut out Pelican Rapids, in fact, in that second half. So did a lot of great things and came out with some great energy, but boy, what a fun game to be part of, to watch, to broadcast. For you guys as coaches, I'm sure not only fun to watch, but also I'm sure nerve-wracking for you guys on the sideline. But let's get your thoughts following this one tonight and a tough loss against Pelican.
A tough loss, Kurt, but our kids battled tonight. We were down 14 in the first half, but we never once had bad body language, negative vibes, anything negative said out there. It was our kids fought and battled, and we competed. We've been on our kids to compete, and tonight we did. We told them at halftime, let's win this half. We won the half, and I also said, let's win this half by 3 scores, just to make – and we got 2. We won the half, but we didn't get the third score, so end up with a 1-point loss tonight. I told the kids, I go, we didn't lose this game. We ran out of time. Yeah. I really believe that, and it is what it is. But they aren't going to let us play for 18 hours, so we got to end it sometime.
Yeah.
So credit Pelican Rapids, Timmy Guler and his team, Coach Beachy, the Coach Beachies, actually, a great football team. They held Barnesville basically to a draw for 3/4 of a football game, and we played them tonight and just about knocked them off. So. I believe, and at the beginning of the season, and I said it last week with you, come playoff time, it's going to take a good team to beat us. Yeah. I still believe that.
Yep, absolutely, and I think you can see obviously the progressions from this team, and like you say, I think that was the most impressive part when I've talked to you in the past on times where they've been down and just kind of curl up. Tonight, that was not the case at all. You could see that the energy level started to get higher. They started to show not only energy but emotion, I think, was probably the more important part. They were playing with emotion tonight in their homecoming game.
Yeah, they were. And, we had a lot of distractions this week, even though with all the distractions and the fun and games and monkey business with homecoming, our kids had good practices. We had a fantastic practice yesterday, and we were interrupted by rain twice and storms and lightning and all that. We had to run for the bus barn at one point in time, and with a 20-minute delay, and then come back out and then get right back to work like that. And our kids are dialed in. We need to keep taking advantage of our opportunities and finish more drives. We get a good drive going, we got to finish them, and then we'll be where we need to be. And we're still in the regular season, and you get to the playoffs, you can't play anybody or can't lose to anybody and move on. So you got to get to the playoffs, and anything can happen. And we got 2 games coming up in a very short amount of time, and we got to be ready to go for those. And again, I told our kids we got better this week, and we did. There's not anybody in our locker room or our coach's room that thinks we didn't get better this week, and we're I really like this bunch of kids.
I'm guessing you could see it too at the end of this game from the guys in the huddle and just see it on their face. I'm guessing the emotion too of this was a heartbreaker for them to be so close and to have the opportunities there. And like you say, they didn't lose. It was just you ran out of time at the end. But I'm guessing you could see that on their face too. That it was tough on them.
It was tough, but you know what? Nobody was upset and down and out, and there weren't any tears. It was our kids played hard. Our kids played well. They knew that, and they knew they had to have a game like that to be in it. And we had chances. We just didn't finish at the end. And but our kids are solid. They're resilient, and just they knew they played hard, and they knew they got beat by a good team. So, and, it's never fun to lose. Nobody likes losing. You never get used to it. And, our kids, we're going to come back next week and be ready to go again. And that's just we need to have everybody safe and sound over the weekend and come back ready to go.
Yeah, a long road trip you guys got coming up here this next week. You'll be last road trip as far as regular season goes. You'll be up to War Road next week. So what do you know about them coming into Friday's game? Do you know much about them?
Not much at all. I know where the town is. I know where their field is right now. Philco, that's about it. They're going to be physical. There were 1-4 before tonight. I don't know what happened with that, but so we're just one game ahead of them in the standings. So we need to prepare and we need to be ready to play physical. They're always physical, regardless of their speed and their skill level in their quarterback, receiver positions, running backs. That doesn't matter. They're always going to be physical defensively and up front. So we're going to have to get through the weekend healthy and get back to work and be ready to go.
Peter Natz, head coach of the Nuggets, joining us here after the loss to Pelican Rapids on Friday night. Coach, appreciate the time as always, and we'll catch you next time here later on the season.
I wish it was 4th and 3 like the screen says right now. We have one more shot at her, man.
Exactly. Put some more time on the clock over there quick, and we can make that happen.
All right, thanks, Philco.
Thank you. Peter Natz joining us here after the loss to Pelican, 14-13. Let's keep it right here. We'll go through some stats and numbers and wrap things up from Hawley High School here this evening. Let's start with the Hawley Nuggets. Team totals: rushing 37 carries for 90 yards. They had 17 passing attempts. They went 7 of 17 with 122 yards passing here this evening. As far as the individual stats go on the rushing, it was Lucas Skank, 12 carries, 46 yards. Jack Ames, 10 carries, 45 yards. And Noah Nelson, 15 carries for -1 yards. As far as passing goes, Noah Nelson, 6 of 16 with 99 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Mark Schauer, 1 for 1 with 23 yards here tonight. As far as receiving goes, it was 3 grabs for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns for Zach Liebach. 2 grabs and 17 yards for Brevin Stoa. It was Lucas Skank with 1 grab for 8 yards and Jack Ames with a grab for 9 yards here tonight. For the Nuggets, team-wise, they had 10 first downs, 5 penalties for 25 yards, and no turnovers. With the loss, they dropped to 2-4 here this evening. Pelican Rapids totals: 36 carries for 230 yards rushing. They were 11 of 18 passing here tonight with 141 yards in the air. And a total of 54 plays for 371 yards of offense. Nuggets, I think I mentioned, or forgot to mention that, 54 plays for 212 yards total offense here in the loss tonight. But Pelican Rapids, 54 plays, 371 yards of offense. On their 36 carries, Jack Kapenga, 18 carries for 152 yards. Timmy Guler, 14 carries, 76 yards. And Jack Paulson with 4 carries for 2 yards. The 2 touchdowns came from Kapenga on a 1-yard touchdown run and an 83-yard touchdown run tonight. As far as passing goes,
Timmy Guler, 11 of 18 for 141 yards passing this evening. Receiving, it was Trayvon Benson, 2 grabs for 13 yards, 2 grabs and 47 yards for Luke Sholey, 5 grabs for 62 yards for Miguel Torres, and 2 grabs for 29 yards for Ethan Eisenman. Pelican Rapids, 12 first downs, had 7 penalties for 65 yards and 2 turnovers, both fumbles here tonight. They get a 14-13 victory over Hawley on the road, improving their record to 5-1 on the year. That'll wrap things up for our coverage here tonight. We appreciate you sticking with us throughout the post-game report as well and throughout the entire ball game for our broadcast on yourliveevent.com. It's made possible by our sponsors you've heard throughout the game. You see scrolling across the screen throughout the game too. Without them, we wouldn't be broadcasting the games we do. At the very least, tell them thank you, but we ask that you patronize those businesses that support these local athletes and schools to give them the airtime that they deserve here with yourliveevent.com. My thanks to Nathan Stoa and also Ben Grunke, who's our videographer, and Nathan providing the color commentary for me here tonight on our broadcast as always. And thanks to you, the listener, for tuning in to our coverage and viewing on yourliveevent.com. It's fun to bring it to you, and I hope you enjoy the broadcast too in the comfort of your own home or in your vehicle or wherever you might be tuning in here this evening. Pelican Rapids 14, Hawley 13. Final score on your Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard. Signing off from Dale Scalaroot Athletic Complex, I'm Kurt Fillion. Have a great night, everyone.